highest praise. Hallelujah. Give me the highest praise. In the morning when I wake up, in the night when I wake up, I will lift up my voice to heaven and give you the highest praise. Hallelujah to my King. Hallelujah to my Father. Hallelujah to my Jesus. I bow before the throne. When I look at all the wonder and I see all the creation, the beauty of the universe, you never change. You never lie. You never change. You never change. Hallelujah to my Jesus. Hallelujah. 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 Hey. Hey. Hallelujah. Hey. Giving. Hallelujah. Hey. Giving the highest praise. Hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. Hallelujah. Giving the highest praise.
Hey, come let's pray, Jehovah. Come let's worship Jehovah. He deserves the praise. Come let's praise Him. He deserves everything. Oh, the worshiping. Oh, He gave me life. I will praise His name. I'm here to praise my God, oh, because He gave me life. Come celebrate, come jubilate, come to worship Him. He deserves the praise. Hallelujah, giving the higher praise. Hallelujah, giving the higher praise.
Hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. Hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. Hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. Yeah. Hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. Ooh, hallelujah. Yeah. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah to my Jesus. Hey. Hallelujah. Okay, folks, we want to welcome you to this program. I'm FRANCESS and so our guest, I believe, is here. Let me just capture his image and then we'll be able to get in. Just bear with us. There were a little technical issue here, but we're trying to do the best we can to resolve it, to get this program on the way. The Liberal Progressive is already here from Saxton, Sacramento. Let's see here if we can get our men also based in Sacramento as well. And we're going to bring all of them here and get this program on the way. Stay tuned. This is All Things Considered. I see my guest there, but he's not dead. Mr. TWEH, I'm still not seeing your image. Just click and enter studio. Okay. I think he gone off. You need to click that and enter studio so we'll see to see you and be able to bring you in. Welcome to this program. We will get this program going very shortly. Just bear with us and we will get right on top of it. Okay, good. All right, let's see here. Okay, let's get the conversation going and hopefully our guest too came in earlier, but we could not get his image and so we can't just bring it in. But in the meanwhile, let's just bring in our analyst and contributor of the Liberia Public Radio, Lpr-Tv. Okay, all right, good. Mr. TWEH, I'm seeing you now. Let's get the ball. Okay, good evening, folks. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Our guest is here, standing by in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. Our team of analysts, they are here. The Liberal Progressive is in Sacramento, California. Is here as usual. Let's bring in our man, Jennington. Is also a contributor of the Liberia Public Radio. They are all here, best of analysts in this business, and our special guest is here, is the newly elected Secretary General of known to former ruling establishment, but opposition to Unity Party, Mr. AMOS TWEH was one of those elected officers during the ended convention that was held in Banga. They are here. As soon as I get his image, I'm going to be bringing here. Gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. So, and good evening, Mr. Taylor. Sorry about that.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. To and Mr. So. Again, I'm Jonathan Taya Dolake. It's a name I can't
Dolake. Google Jennington. I know you.
No,
That's why you want to
I know his name. His name is what I know of is ANC legislature analyst.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Our guest is here. Let's go inside Liberia and bring in our guest. Mr. AMOS TWEH is the Secretary General of the opposition Unity Party, the former ruling establishment. Mr. TWEH, are you hearing me?
Hello?
Yeah. Are you hearing me? Oh boy, it's Liberia. This digital age, Liberia still This is so annoying. All right, he's off completely here. All right, let's see. He will still try. Okay, gentlemen, good evening.
Thank you, Mr. So. Good evening to you as well.
Okay, let's be a little bit magnanimous. Like the black BB English. The Liberal, how you end this today?
Well, wonderful. Just trying to keep up with the happening in Liberia. It's spinning my hair here, but wonderful overall.
It's spinning your hair in which way? Where your hair going?
Too many things are happening at once, and some of us are not quite up to speed in terms of Liberian political knowledge, and so we try to, you know who I am. I'm very slow and not fast, so I take my time.
Okay, Jonathan, if you will, I'm gonna make it try to make it much easier here for myself. Do you agree with the Liberal? Is your hair spinning as well? We'll try to see if our guests can come back here. We'll see how it looks like. Thank you so much, Tail Lion, for sharing. And those of you that are listening, please share. Hopefully, there's a program in 2 segments, in national, and then we want to come to the local here. And is your hair spinning as well?
No, my head is straight. My head is focused.
Now put a Liberal on the boss.
Yes, we prepare for this. And we are prepared to take on it. I mean, for the good of our mother's land, no matter how, it appears that Liberia is failing, you know, it's all we have, and it's all we have to protect. So we just have to wrap our heads around it. Are you
saying Liberia is failing, or is a failed state already?
It depends where one stands. So,
what do you
a regular sedition might say Liberia is prospering.
And what about regular ANC member?
No, I think Liberia has slipped far down the line. We need to buckle up. We are in the 19th century. I think you see my colleague AMOS TWEH struggling, in the 21st century to get on technology. It shouldn't be our place. I mean, we can do better than that. Our neighbors are not making magic. So
thank you so much, Lion, for sharing. Rebecca, Mr. Bloplet, Emmanuel, and Richard Ballard, all of you want to welcome you. Just do us a favor, hit the share button. I don't know why Facebook is acting up nowadays. You try to do things, your own page, and they say you can't post. Can I sue this guy? Okay, let's see here. Mr. TWEH is making his way. Let's see, he's here. Hopefully the internet will do us a good favor. Mr. Secretary General, are you there? Are you hearing me? Mr. TWEH? Are you hearing me?
Hello?
Yes. How are you? Oh boy.
You kind of coming in very slow.
And I'm getting you loud. Okay. Are you getting me now? Are you hearing us?
No.
We're hearing you
You
loud
can
and
hear
clear.
me too? I hear you loud and clear, Amos. Very clear.
I don't know if you're listening to something else, maybe you got to turn it down. Other than that, you're going to be having that interference. Are you getting us, Mr. TWEH?
I'm seeing you and I can see the getting you, but the keeps breaking.
There you go. The problem is from your end. So probably I think best, I think if maybe I might do it this traditional way and probably see what I can get him on the phone. I'm not sure whether that will help. Probably. The Liberal.
Yeah, I was going to suggest we start throwing some sign, and maybe you see your pictures, but maybe the audience is bad. So
He's saying that's what happened is the internet. Okay, Mr.
can you
TWEH.
hear us, Mr. TWEH? Can you hear us?
You hearing us?
Or you can't even see us?
The picture looks still.
Yeah, you see it like that, then that means it's something.
No, he's moving. He's moving. Mr. TWEH, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
So I think probably
Yeah,
best
he's
is
looking.
to see whether I can call him via phone. If the video is
maybe WhatsApp will be the good thing.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, to call him on the phone. We want to make sure that we see these people that are coming.
Okay, he's moving now.
Mr. TWEH, are you hearing us?
Can you hear us? Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, the net. That's the network. That's the network. Believe me or not.
Okay.
If it is not correct, it will not get anything. So let me send him a message and see whether we can call him on the phone. Let me see. Folks, just bear with us a little bit, and we want to do everything possible. Okay, let me see here what I can call him, and if he'll pick up, and then we can have the conversations on the phone. Hopefully, when you take over, Mr. Are you there? Yeah. So I think the internet service is having issues. So what I would do, I'll try to get you on the phone. Can we do that? Yeah, because I think we wasn't getting us, and I just told you I want to put you through the system, and then we'll just do the conversation through the phone. Hopefully, in the future, when the net is okay, we can do that. Is that right? Is that good?
Yeah, I think it's not bad. It's just that I might not really still on the show because I got
yeah.
That last I need to meet, so I'm working throughout the night,
Okay. So you want us to table it for a better day?
Let's go ahead. Let's do it.
Okay, let's spend a couple of minutes, whatever you get, because my second program is coming also. Well, let's do it this way. Let me just put you on here. Okay, Mr. TWEH, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. I think I'm okay. I'm getting you.
Okay, good. All right, and my folks are getting you, except we're going to be switching to audio between video here. Okay, good evening. That's part of the top 10 for you to make it here. Good evening and welcome.
Thank you very much, Afonso. Thank you for having me. It's been, I think, almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
Since I log on, I appear on your talk show. Right. But I'm happy to be back, and I want to say thank you for inviting me.
Okay. Look, we always like to make it proportional to make sure every side is heard and to keep a fair balance and objective. Okay, quickly, I know time is not in your favor, but hopefully we can get it done at another time because we already fall behind almost 40 minutes because of technical problem. Okay, bring up to speed here at Unity Party. But let's look at news. News is something that is happening currently. I know we saw a statement here, official statement from the Unity Party regarding the sanction being placed on the 3 government officials in Liberia. Beyond sanctions, is there any conversation beyond the statement that is ongoing or happening within the inner cycle of the Unity Party? And what is the party position so far? A decision by the president? Suspension, is that enough?
What I think, the thing is that we clearly indicated to the government, to the president yesterday, that first of all, we commended the American government for always standing by and with the people of Liberia. I think it's a very positive step in the right direction in the fight against corruption and exposing graft in the country. So I think based on the public pressure, the president did what we refer to as a mere suspension. A suspension that has no heel, no head, no tail. You cannot just suspend individuals who are said to be corrupt without you indicating exactly what you're going to do. What's the next step? So we condemn that action on the part of the president. We believe strongly that that was slap in the face in the fight against corruption, especially so that you have a very reportable government agency, the United States of America, after having conducted lots of due diligence and investigations, very detailed one, and came up with the name of 3 individuals who are involved in different types of corruptions here and there, manipulating contracts and so on. We believe that the president's action to suspend them is not enough. So we condemn the president's action, and we also called on the president to dismiss them. In addition to dismissing those folks, the president must take steps, very immediate steps, to ensure that they are investigated expeditiously, and at the same time to prosecute them, which is very much important. They should follow the due process of law to prosecute those individuals. The truth of the matter is that it also says a lot about the presidency, that the chief of office staff in the office of the president is involved in act of collusion, in act of corruption, and based on public confession that the man himself made in Bond County. Prior to this sanction, about 2-3 weeks ago, Nathaniel Magee was in Bond County. He went and stood there, bluffing and boasting that even if they are involved in corruption, the truth of the matter is that they at least have decided to say that all of the millions that they've stolen, they will carry package sum to the citizens, the ordinary people. And this is something we call filthy generosity. You understand? In the night, you cut the limbs of the people, you cut their legs off, and then in the broad daylight, you carry crotch sticks and wheelchairs. We think this is unfortunate, very much unfortunate. So the steps taken by the president is not sufficient. And so we are calling on the president to immediately dismiss them, conduct speedy investigation, and that will lead to their prosecution. This is very much important, to demonstrate readiness to be able to expose individuals who are said to be involved in the act of corruption, which is significantly undermining economic growth, the collective happiness of the masses of the people, and peace and stability on the overall. So yes, that is our position. We are holding consultations with citizens, with citizen groups, with political parties, civil society organizations, student activists, to be able to take appropriate steps to make the president to understand that he's president for the Republic of Liberia, consistent with Article 1 of the Liberian Constitution, which gives the people the power, and the same people that gave the president the power to act as president, in his position, the people can withdraw that power from the president. He needs to be able to understand that. If steps are not taken, our action, our decision, our next step is we're going to be able to inspire our people to stampede away. You understand? To push the government to be able to take decisions. We know that over the next course of
Mr. TWEH, hold on, sir, Secretary General. Push the government in which direction, in which context? Let's get some clarity here, How are you going to push the government?
You can engage in mass citizen action. You can engage in civil disobedience. You understand? You can petition your government. We can mobilize the people of Liberia in different forms and manner. Okay? So for that to be avoided, the president has to be seen taking drastic decisions against the people. How can you just suspend the people without even telling Liberians that there is going to be another steps? What are you going to do? What is going to come from out of the suspension? A suspension, the only thing Liberians are going to eat, and after maybe 2-3 weeks, then you put the people back. You suspended them in the public, and they are still taking their salaries. You suspended them in the public, and you're still dealing with them on a hand. This is unfortunate. So the president is continuing to indicate to us that he himself is involved or is a beneficiary, of the collusion, the corruption, and the public stealing. In his government, and it's unfortunate. So when we talk about inspiring the people have to be able to march up to the plate. And you listen to the American ambassador; he was very emphatic, very clear that the people of Liberia must seize this occasion. They must seize this moment. So the people of Liberia are not just going to leave this matter up to political parties. You understand? We in political institutions, we have a fiduciary responsibility, and that responsibility is inspiring them to be able to take appropriate actions that lead to stability in the land. Okay, so individuals who are said to be involved.
Yeah. Okay. Let me hold you here. I'm going to be bringing my.
The American. Go on.
Yeah. Let me before I bring in my colleagues here. Talking about the demanding what the president or the government's action is insufficient and more needs to be done. I'm wondering here, talking about the prosecutions, who's going to do the prosecution? Because the actions of GOL, the government of Liberia, is based on what the Uncle Sen put forward. So is that a government of Liberia? Is that a judicial system going to allegedly prosecute these people pending the investigation? I too need clarity. So what is the position of Unity Party? Should they turn them over to those that accuse them? Or can we say some background conversations were held at a higher level that I don't know and others don't know? Now the president is taking this decision, or the government taking this decision, is simply to suggest that allegedly something wrong was done. Do you trust, if the government said they were sending these people to court, will you trust the system there to have them prosecuted?
The first thing is that the American government was very clear to say to you that they are prepared to work with the relevant authorities in government. And they have always been prepared. The American government, through the Treasury, did not just jump up and say they're putting Nathaniel McGill, Bill TWEH, and Seaman Sereno Seaforth, the very corrupt Solicitor General, on the list, you understand, of individuals to be sanctioned. They conducted investigations. They spoke with individuals, relevant people in the country. So they were able to gather evidence. The Unity Party position, like other positions from other political parties and civil society organizations, is that the government of Liberia, or President George Weah, needs to now work with the relevant U.S. agencies to be able to use the evidence that the U.S. agency, that the Treasury Department was able to use.
Oh boy. What's up? Oh, I have any issue. Okay, folks, just bear with us.
To say you're turning, the people have clearly indicated where the crimes were committed. And what is even sad is the fact that Nathaniel McGill was charged for 2 heinous crimes, for corruption and human rights violation. In addition to that, the report was very clear that Nathaniel McGill has been using, or is in the habit of using, former warlords, former soldiers, people who killed in this country, using those individuals to intimidate, threaten, and harass opposition figures. That's gross human rights violation. And of course, we can point at some of the situations that have happened in the country over the last 2 to 3 years. So the American people were not wrong, because these were the same things that have been flagged consistently by opposition figures in this country, by the opposition blocs, by even civil society organizations, and on top of that, by student activists. You understand? And this, for us, we believe strongly that it compounds the broad level of corruption, which is creating the condition for hardship in the Republic of Liberia.
Okay,
so
quick.
Yes,
So,
to answer your question, the government should use the evidence provided, the evidence by the Treasury, to prosecute the people in Liberia.
Okay.
Investigate them and prosecute them. It's very much important. It's very important.
Okay, so we're going to be switching between video, audio, and that is a regular, so there will be a change. Let me go to my guys, contributors. They are listening to it, and just listen. Let me go first to the Liberal Progressive. If there's any question. The Liberal Progressive, do you have a question for the Secretary General?
Well, first of all, I want to thank the Secretary General for gracing our platform. We appreciate it, and thank you very much, sir, for making yourself available to us here this evening. What I just want to find out is he has suggested prosecution by this government for those who are on the list, sanction list. But what I was wondering, though, as Secretary General of a major political party, would you not agree that it is prudent for the government of the Republic of Liberia to accept the sanction proposal or sanction recommendation or whatever you want to call it from the United States? But the fact that Liberia is a republic, will you not also accept that the government must do its own due diligence, and then after that perhaps recommend to the Justice Department that these people should be held responsible and then be prosecuted? But right now you guys are claiming on the president to fire. By firing them, you're now also putting the punishment before the guilt that might come later. Why don't you accept the fact that the president has suspended them and then let the process take its course? The law is in Liberia, and the whatever evidence that coming from the United States perhaps will be used against them in the process of the law in Liberia taking the proper stand or whatever they want to do. But I think for us to sit here now to demand that the president fire these people, for me, I as a liberal, I found that a little bit.
Okay, let me go to him to respond to that. Okay, Mr. TWEH? Mr. TWEH?
No, seriously, can you just summarize that? I was not getting him, Alfonso. I was not really getting him except the live.
Well, what he basically saying,
like from the beginning. So to summarize what he actually said, what was the basis? What was the premise in lay?
Well, to allow the process to play out, let the government of Liberia do their own investigation by trusting what they are, even though to dwell on the report or the argument by the U.S. government. But you guys are now demanding that they should fire these people. That seems to suggest like you are getting ahead of the due process of law.
Well, you see, in the first place, again, it's important for the gentleman. I was not really getting him clear, but thank you for briefly summarizing that. It's important for the gentleman to understand that the fact that we did not just jump up to consider the president's action to be cosmetic. The president suspended them. What next? Did the president make any statement? Is he planning to take steps? What next for him? You can leave the Liberian people in limbo as if this is some kinds of personal property or a business or a sole proprietorship that you can decide, at will what you want to do with it. We're discussing governance. We're discussing government. So the president has a responsibility to the people. The president cannot just suspend Nathaniel McGill and the rest of the two gentlemen, and then, that's it. So our issue is that, he has to be able to take appropriate step, and those steps should not just be suspending. The president must dismiss them because the crime is grave. The crime is very grave. So you just suspend the people and leave it. So what next? You got to be able to be seen, demonstrating your readiness to fight corruption. So you dismiss them and then you forward them for investigation using the evidence already provided by the US government and subsequent prosecution. But you just suspend the people. That's all? Is that all the suspension? Even the suspension the president did, there's some form of contradiction. If you listen to the president some weeks back, when the LSCC came out with a report and that the public pressure was mounting, that because as a result of the report, those individuals who were named in the report should be suspended. What did the president say? The president indicated to Liberians, I think he called one of the talk shows, local talk shows, and said that he cannot suspend anybody, because he's not going to rely on just mercy or mere report. So how come the same president who yesterday said he's not going to suspend anybody because they're involved in corruption without any evidence, but immediately he moved to suspending 3 gentlemen because the information came from the US government? So we're saying it's not enough. It's very much cosmetic. It's condemnable. The president must be seen taking practical steps to demonstrate his readiness to cooperate with the American government to bring those people to shame. The truth of the matter is that over the last 4 years in this country, Liberians of all walks of life, including opposition politicians and civil society organizations, have been raising alarm bells about corruption in the country, about disrespect for the rule of law, about manipulating contracts in favor of public officials. So you cannot continue to engage in an action that is intended to shield your KC cabinet member. You understand? And maybe when John Brown is involved, because the president is a low-level official, and you say you want to prosecute the president. You understand? We believe this is wrong. It's not just selective justice, but that the president continues to unabashedly demonstrate that he cannot fight corruption. You understand? He cannot fight corruption. And this is very much disappointing. Like even while we were raising the alarm bells over the last 3 to 4 years, and with all the public confession that this gentleman made in Bond County, the president could not take the appropriate step to say, no, I got to be able to halt this matter. Or the executive mansion will have to distance itself from the statement made by my COS the last 3 weeks. Did you hear the president distancing himself? When Nathaniel McGill publicly confessed, for his involvement in corruption, for stealing people money in this country, and for deciding to take small in the form of largesse and as a token to the ordinary people, the very people who are feeling the pinch of corruption. So yes, to answer your question, that is not enough. And we believe that the president will do no harm if he forward this gentleman for immediate prosecution. That is the best way to go to be able to demonstrate your seriousness to tackle corruption, to be able to demonstrate your seriousness that you're not involved in selective justice. It's very much important. It's very important. And if the president does not heed to the request and of the people of Liberia on this particular matter, there will be consequences. It's important to let you know. There will certainly be consequences.
Let me go to Jonathan. Probably he would go follow. Jonathan, so you listen to Secretary General AMOS TWEH, or Unity Party position with respect to the sanction there on the 3 government officials. Do you have a question for him?
Oh, not necessarily a question, but maybe just a throw in to what he said very quickly. Mm-hmm. We have to first understand the nature of the Magnitsky Act and the subsequent sanction of the 3 officials. It is quite clear that in the report of the sanctioning of those 3 very corrupt individuals, it is spelled out clearly that no one should do business with the 3 individuals, not even institutions. Now, we also understand the weight that the United States of America carries when it comes to protecting democratic tenets. And the act that created, if you look under the Financial Intelligence Unit, there's a legal framework attached to that Financial Intelligence Unit. And those legal frameworks, one of it states that United Nations Resolution Against Terrorism, United Nations Resolution Against Access Freeze Without Delay. And the third one is United Nations Convention Against Corruption. And it went further to explain what corruption does. It undermines democracy, which America stands for. And so it is quite unthinkable that Mr. President, in a few years ago, Madam Makinan El Keita, the executive management coordinator for the special project of the president, was dismissed for 5 million bribery. Now, that was not the USA statement. That was complaint coming from people who wanted to invest in Liberia. Now, this is coming from the mother of democracy. And you just come over mere suspicion. Because when you suspend somebody, it means that you still enjoy the comfort of that person. So you are still in defiance to the United States of America, that though you say we can't do business with a person, but I'm not telling the person to wait a little bit, even though I have the responsibility to appoint the person at will and pleasure and dismiss them at will and pleasure, even if I saw them in my dream, I still feel comfortable with them. So I'm just putting them on the side a little bit without any consequences, so that, we see what happens. What I think I can conclude on that is that either the president is, like Mr. Cummings said, is pretending to not know the effect of what had happened, which in itself demonstrates that the president is not prepared for the presidency. It shows some level of ineptitude. Or the president is laissez-faire and he doesn't care, about what had happened, which also would mean that he's an accomplice to the process. Because like AMOS said, it does not harm the president to dismiss those people who he appointed by his will and pleasure, who were never elected along with him, and to forward them for prosecution by the court.
Okay, let me go back to TWEH here. SG. Mr. Secretary?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. So, you heard that from our colleagues. Also,
I'm here, Alfonso.
Okay, let me ask you, this initiative by the Unity Party here, is it in collaboration with other political parties to solidify your political pressure to add up to what Uncle Sam is doing, or are you guys going solo? Is it strictly Unity Party affair?
No, well, you see, this is something that is of mutual interest for everybody and for the people of Liberia. And that's exactly the reason why you see that the last 48 hours since the U.S. government came out with this sanction, everybody, all the different relevant groups have spoken on this matter. And the decision seemed to be unanimous, I must say to you, calling on the president to dismiss them, investigate, dismiss, investigate, and prosecute. That is the unanimous calling and voice of the different relevant groups in this country: political parties, civil society organizations, the clergy community, student activists, etc. So this is not just about a Unity Party matter, but it's about the issues that border on the life, on the survival, the interest and the well-being of the citizens of Liberia. So yes, to answer your question, it is about everybody, and all of us are involved. We're holding consultations with political parties. We're holding consultations with civil society organizations. We're holding consultations with student activists. And at the appropriate time, if George Weah cannot take the decision, we will make him to take decisions that are necessary for the survival of the people of Liberia, but at the same time, to send a signal that enough is enough, that we cannot continue to live in a nation where public officials will steal and come and splash that in our faces in a very disrespectful manner, like Dantona McGill did, like Thomas P. Fowler did the other day. And at the same time, you're using the very young people whose potential you're supposed to be harnessing to the benefit of this country. You're using them as conduits to achieve your purpose, and you're using them as a form of belligerence and militia group. You understand? And giving them crumbs. This is very disappointing.
So
the government is in the habit, like the report highlighted, through Nathaniel McGill and the rest of the officials of government, of hiring former warlords to intimidate us, intimidate opposition politicians in the country. And not just that, but even it has led to killings. You know the stories. You understand?
So
many individuals who died because of witch hunt, and because government want to cover stories. They want to cover that misdeeds. This is wrong. You can't live in a nation where you got to almost all of the time be looking over your shoulder. It's absolutely wrong. This is not a democratic country. You understand? It's almost becoming a banana republic. And we cannot live in a nation where continue to experience these things happening, to the people. It's wrong, okay. Absolutely.
I know quickly here, I know we limited time here, but we did hear from the opposition leader, Alexander Benedict Cummings of the Alternative National Congress. Now, Unity Party issue hope statement already. Will we hear the standard barrier and political leader, Ambassador Joseph Newman Boycott, taking on the microphone to up to the statement and or follow suit of what ANC is doing now? Will we hear from him at some point in time, officially?
I didn't get that part. I didn't get that part, please, Afonso. You say?
I'm asking whether I'm asking if Ambassador Joseph Boyka, he will speak publicly on this as well, like in the case of Alexander Benedict Cummings of ANC.
Oh, yeah, sure. It's important, first of all, that to let you know that the ambassador, our standard bearer, and hopefully the president of Liberia in 2024 has given his initial reaction. And when you see the Facebook page and other social media pages of his, they carried it. You understand? His initial reaction were carried on those pages and at the same time in other newspapers. So I'm pleased to inform you that officially on Friday, the standard bearer of the Unity Party, His Excellency Joseph Nyeman Boakai, will speak to the nation on trending national issues. A number of them will borrow on national security, of course, including the most recent situation in Liberia, where the government again hire, CDC operatives to burn down the house of our chairman, including the sanction imposed on the three government officials. So the Senate is going to speak on a wide range of issues in the country. Hopefully on Friday.
Yeah, hopefully on Friday. I think after that Friday, Mr. Secretary General, we will definitely appeal to you to come here and we'll do everything possible to have you
on Friday. On Friday, he's going to speak to the nation.
After that, to have you on camera here. Now, you said in your words, you said the burning down, we're going to talk about that, of your newly Reverend Tapet Luther, is the action was committed by CDC operative. Is that what you're saying? Is that the report now you are gathering from investigators?
Hello, you say what?
I'm asking you kind of definitive in your statement that the burning down of the party chairman to residence was done by CDC operative, correct?
That's what I said. That's what the UP said. Our Standard Bearer reiterated that yesterday. Okay. And I'm going to send you the statement. Probably you can add the statement of the Standard Bearer. And he was very definitive.
Okay, as long as we get that, we will definitely do it. So I'm asking that, is that your own internal investigation, or is it the investigation by the Joint Security with respect to that? And if so, what are they telling Unity Party with respect to those who were, anybody been apprehended?
Well, first off, it's important to let you know, it's necessary to let you know here that we accuse CDC operative. The government jumped at us. The government came back and denied the allegation. And we pointed out several other episodes that have happened in the past, including the District 15, District 13, and a number of other situations. The Yeke Koloba situation, of course, the one that happened at the Samarkand Sport Complex, a number of situations that have occurred. And as a result of public pressure, the government conducted investigations. Some of those, all of those investigations, there have been no outcome. So the government came and denied our allegations. And then they said that they promised to conduct investigation. So we came back at them to say that we will not accept any investigation conducted by CDC-owned institutions because we know what they can do, what they're capable of doing. Unfortunately, we will not accept that. The only report we're going to consider as credible is report that will come from an independent forensic investigative panel. It's very important that we reiterate our position here to the government.
Would that
you understand?
Would that come from outside of Liberia? That's the only way you give it credence?
Yeah, we will appreciate that if it comes from outside Liberia, whether outside Liberia or here, but we need an independent forensic investigative panel.
Who should constitute? Who should constitute that?
Well, of course, the government can work with the victim. The government can work with us. We are open. We've extended that to the government. The last 72 hours, or almost about 4 days now, they've not responded. So they want to do what they want to do, and they can go ahead and do what they want to do. But they've come out with a report that we believe is not credible. We're not going to accept that report because the truth of the matter is that we have cogent information about how government have been dealing. And about, we have eyewitness reports that clearly highlight how that place got burned. We got information on that. So if the government comes out with something very contrary, it tells you that they just want to smooth screen the matter, the situation. You understand? And we were on the scene when the very government agencies, through the police, quote unquote, forensic investigative team, interviewed the gentlemen, 2 or 3 gentlemen, who served as eyewitness that night. About 1 to 2 a.m. when the situation occurred. And they narrated the exact story and episode to the government. So we want to see whether they'll come up with different contrary opinion, you understand, other than what occurred, you understand, with regard to the burning of the house of the chairman. Okay, so we will not accept any report, and this is our position. We will not. It's important to let you know that.
Okay, I will really love you to do everything possible to really get you here. We want to see vis-a-vis on camera here, so that way. But before you go, now there's a new executives of the Unity Party here. Let me not use other people, but your standard barrier has not been visible to the media outlet in the diaspora, and if it did, it become more or less selective media outlet. When we see the executive, the newly elected executive of Unity.
I want to stop that. We are always available.
No,
Mr. Nabera has spoken on countless.
No, not you. I would be very unfair to say that if you.
Just say you want to stand up. Just say you want to stand up to appear on your platform.
I need a stand up.
We can do that arrangement.
Absolutely, we would love to do that. And that's what I like. And to be honest, I like people who are spontaneous. I just contacted you in less than a.
Appear on Spoon FM.
Say it again.
No, go ahead.
No, I like the communication. It happened in the past, being spontaneous to our messages and all of that. And I think this is a new way of opening corridor to get the other side. And we want to do it proportionally that everybody should be served. And our listening audience are being, why I can't invite Unity Party? But we've been doing that, but hopefully with a new beginning. So definitely I can count on you, and I'm quite sure that will happen at some point in time to have the ambassador here to go in to have some really national conversation. We would love to do that. I think we are all part of the process. What we offer to see the good thing happening. So I count on you, but definitely we'll wish that you will come back here to us right after that meeting here. So give a little bit sense here. What would be the settings of that? The Ambassador Boycott speech to the Liberian people. This seems to be something the opposition want to capitalize on now, to slam GOL, to do everything possible. We saw Alexander Cummings coming out today, sitting, position himself more presidential and stuff like that, hitting high on the GOL of this action. Is that how we want to see it coming from the ambassador as well?
The ambassador is going to speak on trending national issues, of course, from security to governance to the recent the U.S. Treasury's sanction on these corrupt individuals, corrupt elements in the country. and of course on the hardship on the overall. And probably he will speak more about what created the hardship, which is obviously as a result of corruption, the neglect that the government continues to show. So a couple of things that the president, the vice president, our standard bearer is going to speak to, and Liberians can be assured he's going to give them hope that a dawn of a new day is going to be at hand, and they can rest assured that under his leadership, Liberia is going to be better. You understand? It's going to be better for the most part, and the government is going to be responsive to their share needs. So those are the kinds of things the standard bearer is going to, but the details will obviously be unraveled when he should have mounted the podium on the on Friday, hopefully.
Okay, so hopefully I know time has caught up with us. The second segment is here, but definitely we're going to have you back here, so we'll go in depth. I have interest, the difference with that of Helen Johnson Selby Unity Party and that of Ambassador Joseph Newman Boyka Unity Party. We need to draw that fine line of demarcation. Hopefully, when we have the opportunity.
No problem.
Okay. All right, Secretary.
No problem. I'm always at your disposal. You understand? Anytime you want us to speak on issues, to respond to matters, just inbox us. Let us know. We will be very responsive, going forward.
All right. Thank you so much.
And hopefully we can have other party leaders also on your platform.
Definitely, we'll do that. And there are other conversation we have, but not on air here. We started that already, so we're looking forward also having that. That will help to get it. Okay, Secretary TWEH, we want to thank you so much. We're looking forward, and we will elect our guys to be part of that conference. Where will that conference? At the party's headquarters?
Yeah, it should be at the party headquarters, hopefully on Friday. It should be at the party headquarters.
Okay, please keep us posted, and then we'll have our folks on ground there to be part of the coverage. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Thank you. You're welcome.
All right. Okay, so gentlemen, let me come to you guys. Unfortunately, the internet, the digital world is not doing all good. Okay, so are you guys there?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. We're going to be having the second group here already. We're going to be having a conversation here. But here we are, Ambassador Joseph Newman Boyka will be speaking to the nation as well. What is playing out here before our second group come into place?
It's an open question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like Amos said, I cannot say for a fact that, being human too now, that the action carried at the chairman house, for instance, came from the CDC. And I can't point to a fact, but I can surmise that there are elements, there are reasonable thought for one to guess, for whatever reason, that this thing is very likely to be associated with people from the CDC background. For what reason, it will be left to all of us to explore the avenue, how we can have the facts associated with it. The reason is that, and again, for them to get involved into investigation of such matter, it is on all of us shoulder to ascertain as to all of the investigation that have gone on, what have been the outcome to those victims. Investigation ranging from the full auditor death, investigation ranging from the EPS agent death, investigation ranging for Kai Fale and thoughts attacks against Ellis Cummings in Grand Juliet County, investigation about Kai Fale attacking Madison Guion, a sitting representative in the presence of the Internal Affairs Minister, Yeke Kolba being continuously harassed to the extent to which he had to take a family out of the country. We don't know what had been an investigation. The most recent one, which is the CDC COP situation, allegation from Ellen Cochrane about ritualistic and secret killings, associating that with the then Solicitor General. And all these things compounded together. McGill has no other means of making friends with Liberians or selling the agenda of the poor agenda to Liberians, but to recruit belligerents, people who should be going through, rehabilitation so that community can accept them and interact with them. All these things are pointing to the character behavior of people from the CDC end. And so it is very difficult. The likes of Eugene Nangbe, Snow has said it before, that petrol bomb were thrown in Eugene Nangbe yard during the 2011 elections. Petrol bomb were all those people who were in CDC and did not support CDC. So there's a clear association, that is there in. But again, we cannot say I personally cannot say for a fight, but one can suggest that it is something to think of. And on the issue of the auditor, the report from the State Department, from the U.S. Treasury, I think President Weah should take it very keen. I think President Weah, it will not take much for him if he should dismiss those who he should appoint at his will and pleasure and have the same will and pleasure to dismiss. It will not take much for him. It will better position him, even if you will not win the 2023 election, but at least people will remember that at the closure of his tenure, he was effective and efficient in living up to the tenets of democracy.
Mr. Soul,
Yeah,
highly disappointed in your performance here tonight with the Secretary General. You have been recognized all over this platform, and even beyond this platform, has been one of the best journalists. And you let this gentleman come over here and run all over us here tonight without you showing your true self tonight. I'm disappointed, truthfully. This man came up here and decided to reign the speculations, and you didn't. He's a Secretary General of the next in line political power to take political party to take power in Liberia, and you allow him to destruct the truth here tonight and not even try to hold him responsible. Usually you will try to not necessarily rudely interrupt, but you will try to bring this person to book. You heard the man. First thing is the first statement he made, and he didn't go after that. Is how they call it, dismiss, investigate, and prosecute, without any kinds of reference to what the people who are going to be who are going to be dismissed, who are going to be investigated and prosecuted. Nothing about their right as Liberian citizens was never mentioned. Then all ridiculousness. He coming out here as being accusing the government of putting fire, burning their party, whatever headquarters, whatever it is. And you didn't even push him back on that. I'm very, very disappointed tonight, Mr. So. And let me just say this. I'm telling you right now, if this young man comes back next week or whatever time, you have to make the system that he's going to be on available to all of us to be able to question him. Because I know from here on, he's not going to come here and try to run away with these kinds of rumor and speculation and call it news. That is unacceptable on this high platform, intellectual platform. We cannot have people coming out here and try to make stuff that is not of true nature. Unacceptable, Mr. Soul.
What a sad and cheap political point you think you want to make here to resurrect your bad performances in a couple of days here? Please, I didn't push him. Please, Samson Toe is trying to resurrect. Okay, we're going to be having a, but you heard me saying that it's a difficult switching between audios and video, and I made it clear that we're going to have in here. So you know that no one is off the radar here. That they will answer the question. Hopefully, he made it known that there was an issue coming on and all of that, but that's not what I'm going to dwell on. And I'm going to be having a second segment. We're going to be listening to what Ambassador Boyka, and you saw one of the key points was to pushing that his standard barrier is being visible on few certain outlets. It came for himself. So I'm going to push him. I count on him now. He's spontaneous. That hopefully we're going to have Ambassador Boyka here as well. So, gentlemen, we are about to turn our gear. I'm not sure if you guys will want to say that's okay to turn our gear to community initiative as well. Is part of that, because all of these people that you see sitting in national offices at the end of the day from community level, They go and they want to be represented. They want to be senators and all of that. So I saw our second batch of consignment, not consignment, oh my goodness, second batch of guests. When they come on, we're going to get that going. But while we wait for them, Madam Clark, you can join and your team can come over here. But while we await them here, did you listen to Alexander Benedict Cummings' address today to the nation?
Yes, I did, and highly disappointed as well.
Wow.
And I made it clear here last night. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think you need a water.
I made it clear here last night. Excuse me. I made it clear here last night, Mr. Soul, that I was hoping that the honorable man will come out here, first of all, sympathize with Liberian position, and then perhaps try to speak as a father or will-be father of the nation by calming the people down. Mr. Soul, please, you asked me a question. Let me finish my statement.
So what my got to do with your notes?
Because I don't want to hear anything else until I'm done. That's how we do it here.
No, listen.
Mr. So you can't say okay when it's a signal to me to be quiet. You know the rules. I know who you are.
Why are you jumping into unnecessary fight? You're trying to gain your rightful play, and that's not the way to do it. You see, you're coughing.
So may let the liberal finish his statement, please.
Oh my goodness.
So he coming out here yesterday.
Okay, let me make your stream be so you will get your voice out properly. But what I'm saying, carry on. As soon as our next group comes, we're gonna have it going. But go ahead.
Okay. So the point.
Oh.
Carry on your process, Mr.
No, go ahead. Are you speaking? I focus on the screen. Oh, you want me back on the screen?
Yeah. Well, no. Right now, I'm okay with it. Now I'm ready to talk. So the point Alexander Cummings was making, I thought it was ridiculous. I thought his point, he was on point. But as a father, who will be father of the nation, first of all, I thought you were going to be sympathetic to Liberians' position. Instead, he was very aggressive. He's running campaign, and this is not time for campaign. This is time for Liberians to find a shoulder they can cry on, to find a shoulder who they can say, yes, oh man, thank you for helping us out. But instead, he was so aggressive and so campaigning style that is unacceptable.
Jesus Christ. Okay, let me have Jonathan, and then we're going to be going back to our guest. Jonathan, you want to respond to the liberal?
Yes. I really do not understand where Mr. Toad stands when it comes to corruption. I don't know whether he expects Mr. Cummings as a political person to be appealing to those who are bamboos pillage our economy so badly that it is almost like a pit that they are dug in the backyard of Liberia. I can't get it. Corruption damages democracy. If you have nothing to farm at, you should be able to farm at corruption. It pillages the livelihood of our people. It set up backward in the 19th century when the rest of the world is in the 21st century. AMOS 12 could not properly communicate like we are doing in the United States of America because technology is lacking. And the thing that is causing technology to be lacking is because we have bad governance, we have very corrupt people to the core, rotten and just unrepairable. That's the kind of system. So if you hear the United States of America talking about people who are engaging in human rights violation, I don't know how you expect Mr. Cummings to be sympathetic with such a thing. I don't associate with things. And I guess as a father, Mr. Toh is not prepared to pump us any thief or criminal. He must tell the parents that this is a bad act. The child should deviate from it and better go to Sunday school to learn better doctrine and better livelihood. That's the way Mr. Cummings handled it to the people who own President Weah, the people who elected President Weah, so they can know that this is a bad apple, very bad and dangerous apple that he's surrounded by.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, we're going to leave it there. Hopefully, maybe after this, for those of you who want to stay, we can still let's turn our wheel to the community-based organization. We have our second group of guests here, and we're going to have this conversation. The Liberal, do you have anything to say? Say bye.
Well, no, he and I know him. He's ANC legislature analyst, and I will have him later on. He and I, plus you, we will have it after we're done with the next guest. So that's fine. We're here. We're here to stay.
Okay. Oh my goodness. I told you, don't be surprised. Okay, I think Mr. Tote is here. He's the public affairs guy for the United SAPO Association in the Americas. Let's see here. To assume President Clark comes over. Let's get a ball rolling here. I think we're having a little difficulties in entering, but we'll see. Hopefully, it's going to play out better there when she comes. Okay. Mr. Todet, good evening. Can you unmute your mic? Mr. Todet, are you hearing me? I'm getting a noise. Okay, Myers. Was Tutu gone off? He gone off? Okay, Myers, are you hearing me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, I don't see the president yet. I'm not sure what's going on. Tutu gone off as well. I'm not sure what's happening. So let's just give it a few break. Texting me here. I'll give it a few break and then we can come on. Let's watch some of the excitement from last event, and then we can, as soon as the president comes, we can have that.
Her Royal Highness. Her Royal Highness, the National Queen, Queen Diana Carlo Williams is about to enter this building tonight, and I can assure you this building will be on metaphorical fire, because when Queen Diana Carlo Williams, when she enters the building, every baby unborn, born and unborn, I should say. So the National Queen will be coming in with the chapter's Queen. So let's see how the Queen looks tonight. We will see the chair lady, she changed the atmosphere in the building with personality and the dress code. Beautifully made African dress. And so the Queen is now entering the building. If you see the royal regalia, it is spellbinding. The Queen is well dressed. As you can see, the smile. Look, guys, take a seat tonight. Relax. If you don't have seats, stand up. And so this is the entering in the building of the National Queen, Diana Carlo Williams, the National Queen of the Union. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, don't joke. USD, I'm bringing it to you. You miss it. You don't have to blame you. She's being escorted by the president of the North Dakota chapter and the national publicity chairman, J. Elikana Tote. Our viewers, did I lie to you? No, it will be spectacular and just the genesis of the process. Her Royal Highness Queen Diana Carla Williams is now going to her seat and escorted by President Otello and Kolo and the national publicist, J. Edison Atoten. Also, there is the Vice President of the Iowa chapter, Morris. So the Queen, before she takes her seat.
Okay, let's get the ball rolling. I'm not sure. Can anybody contact the president? I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not getting signal from her. Can any members contact the president?
Okay, let me go get her.
Yeah, you don't have to, or unless you want me to. I don't know what's going on with her. Oh, okay, she's here. The man left and the president. Okay, the president is here. Let me bring in Mr. Tete. What's going on with the camera too as well? The camera. Please tweet. Okay, let's get. Can you turn your camera on so we can get this going? President Clark, are you there? Okay. All right. Guys, are you hearing me? The rest of the team members? Mr. Toted?
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting that and clear here.
Okay. The other guy, he gone off too, but hopefully he's gonna come back.
Yeah, you'll definitely.
Okay. I want us to lead the way through. I'm not sure what's going on. She's on, I think, her device. I don't know why the camera went off. Can we get the ball rolling?
Let me check and see if I can get her back track.
I see her is still on the dashboard, but I don't know why her camera camera went off too. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I think she's back here. Okay, I think. Are you? Yeah, she's here. Are you guys hearing me?
I can hear you clear.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we want to welcome all of you. For those of you appearing for the first time, welcome on LPR. It's better late than never. We try to do the best we can before the convention. Thing didn't turn out to be good, but yeah, we stay out to talk about the aftermath of the convention because why you guys, some of you will want to be senator, you will want to be representative, and you're a community leader. So we need to have a conversation and know what is happening. So, Madam President, good evening and welcome.
Thank you, Mr. So. But I think Mr. Boto Jawi is backstage. Is he on now?
He said, let's see here.
Because you've been telling me that you have not been backstage.
I'll send the link to him. I don't think he has logged on. If he comes, I think
you got off. So yeah, you told me you were on, but you couldn't get him on.
I watching the system. Anybody comes on, I know it will signal me. I will see the person. Let me see. I know you sent a message earlier.
Right. Maybe you got off. I would try to use my computer, but for some reason it's not. My camera.
If somebody can signal him, I don't think I have his number yet.
Alice, can you signal him to come back, please?
If somebody can text him, that would be fine.
He's from the board, and I want him to be on. Yeah.
All right, sure.
Okay. So can we get going in the meantime?
Yeah. Of course.
Okay, we want to welcome all of you to this conversation here. Hopefully, basically to know what is going on within the organization, what happens to your conventions, how the leadership is being run, and some other things that you wish to share with us here. And here you are at liberty to plead the fifth. You have the right not to answer any question that you find very uncomfortable or you think that you don't want to answer. You have the right to answer. So I'm gonna go to you guys one by one to introduce yourself, your role to within the organizations, and then we will get a conversation going. When a board member comes in, we know exactly it. We'll see him backstage, and I have the Liberal Progressive here as our contributor and Mr. Jonathan. They are all here. Hopefully, we're going to form part of the conversation. So let's start with the president.
Oh, okay. So thank you, Mr. So, for having us, me and my executives, for having us on your show tonight. This is my first time on your show, and I'm so excited and I'm happy that we can form part of the great show. My name is Frances Clark Myers. If you don't know me, I am the president for the United SAPO Association in the Americas.
Okay, 1 second. Oh, good. Oh, hold on 1 second. Just bear with me. I try to do some editing here. Okay. All right. The next person here. Let's hear you. Introduce yourself.
Thank you, Mr. So, for giving us your platform to be used and keep our people informed, aware of what we are doing in the great United States for the United SAPO Association in the Americas. My name is Maya Mondable, and I am the membership chairman.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. And let's come here. Mr. Tota. We're not hearing you. Check your microphone.
Not clear.
Yeah. I'm still not hearing you. Oh, he went off? I think he went off. Okay. Then let me come to the next guest here. I think Tota went off. Let me come to the next guest. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. So. Thank you for having us on your platform. My name is Doris Mami Jolly. I'm the planning chairperson of the National SAPO Association.
Okay. Welcome to the show. Okay, I think the gentleman is back. Let's have him here. Alexander, are you there? What are they rushing your device or what?
Alice, nobody hearing you, Alice. I don't know. We're not hearing you.
Alice, you need to check your microphone.
You need to check your microphone.
The microphone is on. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, we're hearing you now.
We're hearing you now.
Okay, much better.
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Okay, I think Mr. Jawi is here. Let me see his image. But you gotta allow the access to. Okay, let me see here. All right, let's see. Okay, Boto, can you fix your camera? Jawi. Boto. The phone said looking is frozen.
Might be on mute.
I mean,
Maybe.
The live mobile or what kind of mobile that?
Is it like we are 2 minutes?
I don't think he's
go out.
Are you hearing out, Boto?
Yeah, I think Boto is.
Yeah, Boto, I can see him, but I can't hear him.
I can hear him.
Boto, is he speaking?
Maybe he just went off. You were hurt.
He's still on the screen.
You were audible a while ago.
It's frozen. Okay, let me get going on. When I see movement in the backstage, I'm gonna be here. Okay. Let's get a program going, folks. Time is running out here. Okay, so Madam President, let's have a conversation here. Tell us a little bit about these associations and how far you took it and where are you heading with it. Madam Clark? Mrs. Myers.
Oh my God.
Mrs. Myers, are you hearing me?
She's frozen. It look like
No, I mean, I seen movement. Frances, are you hearing me?
I don't think she's hearing here.
Wow. Let me take her off and bring her back in here. Are you hearing me, Frances? Jesus.
See, I see movement.
Okay, I think Boto is back. Okay. Mr. Jawi, are you hearing us now?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Thank you. I don't know why the president is not hearing me. She's Frances, are you hearing us? Are you hearing us? Check your microphone. Okay. All right, then let's start with those that are here. I think she went off. She will be coming back here. Okay, Mr. Jawit, good evening and welcome.
Oh my
Both
God,
right
what
there?
happened to
What
what happened to all of them? They're not speaking.
Boto?
Everybody was muted, or that's just me?
No, we were
That's just you.
hearing you.
Oh
it's
my
just
God.
you.
So I think Boto motor there too.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay,
Okay.
let's. Are you hearing me now, Madam President?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought everybody was muted.
Okay, so I was just asking, tell us a little bit about this organization. How long, in fact, have you been president of this organization? And tell us a little bit, give her a little bit backdrop of this organization.
Okay, so USAA was established in the 90s when there was war back home in Liberia. And the people of the SAPO land, our elders at the time, women and men of the SAPO land, gathered together in Durham, North Carolina, and saw the need to intervene. So they organized themselves at the time as a group of people that just wanted to help their people back home during the 1990 war. So at the time, they were able to send supplies of food and medication back home. So based upon that, afterwards, they decided to come together as an organization. That's how USAA was established in Durham, North Carolina, to be specific, in the 90s. So since that time, the organization have grown to different states. So presently, we do have 6 chapters within the union. So presently, I'm the 3rd female president of the organization, and I was elected in 2021 in Florida, Jacksonville. So the convention is my first year in.
That's the first. Okay, I think Mr. Jawi is back.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay. Boto, are you there now? You hearing us?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I think I'm in a comfortable place now.
Okay, much better. Okay, yeah, President, carry on. What happened? It kept going off.
The Russian interfering.
The Russian.
That woman is a woman of God.
Okay, let's bring in the board chairman, board co-chairman. Yeah. Are you there?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, I believe you're here for the board. But the president was talking. You ended, Madam President?
Yes, I did. I just wanted to give a brief background. So, Mr. Jawi can go ahead.
Okay. You are the co-chair of the board of directors?
Yeah, co-chair of the board of directors, but past conventions I acted as the chairman for the board of directors due to the absence of the chairman.
Okay. All right. So, okay, let's hear that. It's difficult to always see national administration and the board of directors. You know it better than I do. Our own Graduate Association and other many organizations here. What is the difference with the board of directors and you as a co-chair and that of the administrations? What is the working relationship?
I think it's very cordial. We have resolved. We have a common agenda to work with, and that is to give back to the community back home. I know it's not perfect. It's never been perfect between the board of directors and the administration because everything is intended for transparency's purpose. But other than that, we have a very genuine, cordial relationship. We are working together, and the past conventions is a complete testimony to that effect.
Okay. Testimony to that effect. I don't know why the president line going. Oh yeah. Okay, let's go to Mr. Tote. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What is your role?
Oh, I'm the publicist. In other words, I'm the PRO.
PRO for the organization. What do you do?
So I provide information related to the president's activities, the programs, that what we're doing, publicity, like media, I build a relationship. But I took off, the organization PROs was not like that. But I made sense, but yeah, if something like you were able to appear and focus on other media. So my role is to provide updates of the president daily activity.
I don't know why your line was distorting. Okay. I believe you provide updates to the president. She's back here. Yes, a challenge here this evening. Okay, Madam.
I have no idea what's going on with my phone. It just kept going off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's okay. Okay, who was okay? Yeah, Miles, go ahead. Madibu.
Yes, yes, Mandibu. I am the chairman for membership in my job. Am I audible enough?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay, and my job is to reach out to the SAPO people, bring them in as member, and we all continue to work towards one goal, and that goal is to do from A to Z all good things for our people by whom, since we have the opportunity to be in the United States.
So basically, the organization is membership based.
Yes. Yes, I would say yes, and then I would say if you are a SAPO person and you are here, we try to encourage you to be part of the organization because whatever that we do is catering to the needs of us SAPO people. So we encourage each and every one, wherever you live in the 50 states, to come on board.
Okay, with that being membership based, before I go to the next guest, how many members, active members, do you have as part of the organization?
Well, we still calling people to be part of the association. Or our last convention, according to my roster, those that were in attendance were over 150 persons, and they are all members.
50%. Okay.
150.
150 persons. 150
registered members.
Registered member, and probably even more because other people didn't come. But we kind of continue ourselves to those that were in the present.
Okay, good. Okay, let's go to the next guest. Tell us your role. So you're actively moving around during the convention. What's your role with the administrations and with the organization?
You talking to me?
Madam Yari.
Okay.
Well, I'm the planning chair. My role is to provide, let's say, all things that the place the convention is held in, to provide all necessary things they ask the office of the executive for. And I also work with them to make sure that everything on ground is smooth. And I also provide assistance to the president whenever she needs something.
Is it a standing committee within the executive?
Yes.
So to plan events under the watch of the
under the watch of the administration.
Okay, let's come here. Madam Donaldson, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Okay, let's see. What is your role with the organization?
I'm the treasurer. You mentioned my name, Agnes Donaldson. I'm the national treasurer for the organization.
Cool. So you are the Fed for the association, right? That's every money that comes from out there, and that's a very important role here. The survival of every organizations in the diaspora, more or less, it becomes fragmented due to lack of financial accountability. People's money is not being properly accounted for. So you are a very, very crucial person in this year. Why it takes a lady like you to manage the affairs of this organization? We have other organizations, treasurer, when it comes to financial reporting, where nobody pay me. So if I don't make a report this quarterly, it's not anything, and then it becomes a problem. Is your report on time, always on time? What are the challenges here? Sometimes president just write letter, it's not approved by the board of director, treasurer disburse, then confusion starts in the organization. How are you managing the fundings or funds of this association? You are very important in this process.
No, I hear you. You are so right. All of us on this panel are here voluntarily. None of us here have to be here. And whenever you look at an organization, what's key and what's important is the leadership. That's an important visual. That people want to see good leadership, and they want to be able to trust the leaders and know that when I do deposit, I do donate, I do give my money, that it's going to be used wisely. So for me, one thing for me that's important is it's not about anything. It's about my own integrity. Financially, I'm a structural engineer. I'm okay. I'm not looking for this to make anything for me. So in that sense, if I'm here for one purpose, is to help our people, not to hurt them. So what's very important for me is every penny that comes in needs to be accounted for, and every penny that leaves needs to be documented. That's what we do. I hold my national, my financial secretary and I, we work close together, and we make sure that we are aware of everything, as close as I am to the president. And she knows that, and she can say, there is nothing that would make me withdraw any money without it being properly documented. Because at the end of the day, I need to make sure that everything that happens, I'm aware of it, and I'm following according to our Constitution. So that's why we can give a concise, detailed report. We can give a account statement to back it, because there's nothing that we're hiding, and everything that happens to that account, every member of this organization should be aware of it, should know about it. So that's how we operate. I work currently for a large industry, and I manage over millions of dollars for them. So managing money is not my problem. Documentation of it is not my problem. What is important is the people who work hard every day to give whatever they have. My goal, my job is to make sure that every penny that they give is documented and accounted for. So that's what I do. That's my role. That's what I'm here for. When I can't do it, then I leave.
I love the word you use, constitution, and we're going to be placing emphasis because the breaking down of organization here, our own grand leaders and many organizations is the financial structure is the, I love the word you use, constitution. So to just play into that narrative here, it means before your office disburse any money, it has to be approved by the board of directors. Is that a case?
Absolutely. There has to be some documentation that I receive that has been approved and signed that I get before money comes out of that account.
Okay, well, I'm not sure why the president, okay, let me keep going off here. Mr. Cole, are you there? Mr. Jennington, this is a community conversation. You know, you all been part of a community organization, so that's discussion we can, don't hesitate if you want to come in.
Yeah, Mr. So, this is the Liberal. I just, first of all, I want to welcome this organization, Liberian Public Radio, which I consider it to be one of the intellectual platforms around. And we really appreciate you guys coming up to discuss what is happening in your neck of the wood. We appreciate it. But what I really want to stress on here is the recognition that these people, this organization has perhaps come to recognize very quickly, which is in as much as they are from a county, but they also, I believe, are serving a specific purpose, and that is they are able to reach in their own neighborhood, in their own background, in their own backyard, back home. And so, on a national scene, I think this any government that perhaps you're really serious about true development in Liberia, I think these are the folks that perhaps you can try to reach out to here in the diaspora, because if you get these people on board with you, then whatever developmental agenda you have for a particular area, it will be easier because many of these people that are on your platform here, Mr. So, are able to identify areas within their own background, backyard. So if you have a specific development process that you want to carry out in a certain area and contact these people, they will be able to guide you and be able to steer you in the right direction. And I think these people are doing a wonderful job. I just want to congratulate them. So please, the war is over, but your work continued. And I appreciate all of you doing what you're doing. Not that you don't have anything to do, but the fact that you're still connected to our folks back home, give you that push to continue to do what you're doing. And I want to say thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Jennifer?
Yes. Firstly, I must commend you for the putting together of the institution. I mean, it is quite wonderful, and I love the teamwork, how you all are expressing, having focused attention. I mean, unity of action, it is quite good. I wish to really stay. I guess I'll be online with you people. But like I said in the comment section, I had an appointment by 5 o'clock. So again, thanks to Agnes, the treasurer, Yule, Adwal, Boto, Alexander, Mondubu, Mondubu, yeah, Doris, yeah, keep it up. I mean, and to the president herself, that is a good way to go in order to connect with our people and keep the tradition, the cultural, the togetherness. I appreciate, and I hope the next time I'll be here to stay we all climb us together.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
Welcome, sir. Thank
so
you.
much. Okay, good. I don't know what the president, I don't know why her line kept going for. So who's the next person? Because I want to know why this organization was funded. I mean, there must be a reason, and to share that with our listening audience, there must be a cardinal reason, purpose specifically. Maybe the board, why the president is not here, the board and the team members can chip in. Why United SAPO Association? What was the basis of forming this organization?
Thank you very much. I think yesterday engaged in discussion, so I didn't make no reference to you guys, the host, for the hard work. But before let's say, I approach our questions, I want to commend you for the hard work, the time, the sacrifices you have made in this community to provide all the information that are needed for that are listening. With respect to why the organization was funded, I think when you listen to the history of the organizations, were funded at a time when our country was in dire need, when the crisis was at its peak, when government got shut down, when everything that we enjoy, everything that we have access to, were provided by international community and NGOs. It was in that vein that the forefathers met in North Carolina in the midst of the crisis in Liberia, knowing not the whereabouts of their people, decided to gather together and see how they can provide something like food items, clothing, etc., to those that needed it. So it was funded on humanitarian ground. But the point I want to make is that when this organization was funded, it had a big dream, but those dreams were not able to be reached at the time. So, of course, they got some rice, they got some bread, they got some clothing, they helped the people who were in need, who were in the bushes at the time. But at this point in time, the responsibility of the organizations have enlarged. For every time you solve a problem, you have another problem. That's why they say that a solution to a problem is a problem itself. We have gotten to a point now, having gathered all the membership that we have, with the power of fundraising that we are right now, our responsibilities have enlarged. The humanitarian aspect of our responsibility has become unlimited. It's not about rice anymore. It's not about clothing. It has become a problem for scholarships. We now have a problem to take responsibility of helping our people with medical needs. Well, we are provided, adequate guest houses for clinics that were built in our area. So on a day-to-day basis, as the organizations grow in terms of membership strength and financial background, our responsibilities are skyrocketing. So we are having large responsibility, currently. And that's why I want to add that.
Okay, I know the president went off. Are you back with us, Madam President?
I've tried. For some reason, my phone, it just gave up on me today.
Oh, boy.
I told you that it's Russian.
But are you
That
hearing
woman
me?
is a woman of God.
Are you hearing me now?
Madam President.
Are you hearing me now? Wow.
It is not.
Probably may change a position in the house, maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
You need to I have to change my position.
You hearing me now? I don't know.
She's going to change her position.
Yeah, maybe change the position. But any of the team members, why she's still finding it difficult, any of the team members can give a thought. Was there any tangible reason that encouraged any of you to form part of she gone off again? To form part of this organization? Is there any convincing reason why form part of this organization? Any team member can go through.
Yeah, let me go.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. CEO, look at my eyebrow. I hear from a little bit of people win. And God gave me opportunity to America. Fellow and sister by whom I represent every one of them. So although we have money, we can impact the life. When I born, when my mother was born and today my name is Idewe. So I believe we can change the dynamics of the life local in our village, because the time when in my town. So I will be here in I see opportunity to help my people. And when I went first for a little bit developed, I got to harvest tobacco for it to help our organization. Sometimes I don't really want to or too much or little everything opportunity to help my people buy out of bread, buy home who cannot afford to go to school, who don't have, and I think we'll get for our
Okay.
buy. One of the reasons which I joined, I want to help my people, but I cannot do it.
Lincoln, he wants to know his SAPO people. Well, the SAPO people here, so please, I want to know my SAPO people. Okay, so Mondabu, right?
Yeah, if I could add on to what Tote and our board co-chairman said. If you know where you came from and you know why you left behind, you want to do something to change people's lives. This organization, in my belief, has been formed or was founded based on that. We got to give back to our people. All of us on the platform, nothing but SAPO people, and our land behind, that we left behind there, that we left back there. We want to make sure if we can't do it 100%, but let us do something that being in the United States, the biggest country, the richest country on earth, where we reside and live, that we can go back and do something for our people. That's one of the reasons why I also joined this organization. Whatever I have, to make sure I'm gonna share it instead of I use it only for me and my children. I'm gonna give back to our people. That's one of the main objectives for forming this organization. And we are moving forward with our leader, Clark Myers. We are beyond her 100%. And that's why we want to make sure our people enjoy the fruit that is here, the food that has been bared, and share with them. We've got a lot of things to do. We've got people there that can afford to pay school fees. They can't even afford to buy a bag of rice. They can't even afford to carry their children to hospitals. Those are the things we are planning to embark on as we move forward with the organization. Thank you.
Okay. I think Exeter were here, but I think,
struggling.
yeah, I don't know who is tampering with the president line here today, NJ.
Yeah.
That's the Russian. I told you, the Russian.
I think I need to start praying right
Is that
now
Russian
because
or the Russian from the?
somebody don't want the president to say something on the line tonight.
And you will say it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Let's give her
because
the opportunity. Then we'll come to
Yeah. Give her the opportunity.
Okay, so what's the question, Mr. Soto?
No, I was asking why part of this, why this organization, I mean, people want to get a sense of why organization, there must be a reason. I was just asking, what was the purpose of establishing this organization? I know it might sound a little crazy.
Okay.
Oh, you not know the reason our people back home want to help, but beyond helping, there must be a reason. There are other organizations, they have people, also members here to also have problems. But they get a tendency of resources, everything being direct. And I know we got to help our people, but if you can't even cater to your own membership that here, and you want to do it, then sooner or later, people start having some sort of disagreements. Exeter, good evening, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, boss. How are you?
Great. Yeah, so I'm just curious here. Maybe there are some. Oh my goodness, I don't know what. Okay, but I'll put it on the secretary that he's the recorder. I think he settled down. He's no strange. I thank you for the extraordinary job that you are doing, Voice of Sano. Man, I'm your regular follower as well. It's not easy. I know the sacrifices and time, energy that is involved here. But I was just asking why you guys decided to form this organization. I know there are many other, ethnic or group organization from other places. It might sound crazy. Why is he asking that question? What prompted this group of people to come together to have this organization? Is it something that we need to know?
The question is directed at me?
Yeah, Mr. Secretary.
Oh yes. Historically, I think the president laid a basis for the establishment of the organization. Initially, because the people were grappling with hunger and other things during the course of the war, and that was the historical purpose of the organization. But as time progresses, I know the needs of our people they become astronomical. Especially given the economic condition in Liberia, and the government is responsive to the needs of the people.
Right.
And so as the organization grows, the members in the diaspora of the organization, we decided to at least help the people in many ways. And so each administration has its own agenda. And so when the Myers Mane administration came in, they identified particular issues to attack or to tackle in the SAPO land. And so the president established what I call administrative trinity, which has to do with the healthcare, education, and agriculture. And so those are the three things he identified. There are many needs. The needs of our people, they are myriad. And so, but she said, if we can provide medical supplies to our people, if we can produce food for ourselves, if we can equip the various medical facilities in the county, that would be a tremendous help to our people.
Mr. So,
yeah, go ahead.
I have a question for the board member.
Yeah, no problem.
And the question is, I just want to find out what is the working relationship to this organization and that of the leadership, political leadership of the county. Are you guys in any kinds of contact or connection in your explaining what you do? And I know that perhaps since the war, I'm quite sure that they are quite aware of what you do. But I was just wondering if you can give us some sort of a blueprint here this evening about your working relationship with the leadership of Sano County.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, United SAPO Association is not a political entity. It's an NGO. However, it's not void of politics because government provide the land. Government is the authority, so whatever you do, it has to go through some authority on the ground. With respect to our relationship to our leadership, is strictly based on let's say what to give back and how to give it back. We have a lot of experiences, in terms of how it functions. Back home, people believe that strictly everything will have to come from government. After traveling across the Atlantic Oceans, we have realized, given our experiences here, that the people themselves must get involved into what they obtained, into raising their own life standard for better survival. So on that note, we have funded these organizations. But when we're giving back in terms of implementations for security, or let's say for in terms of let's say where we build social structure, in terms of let's say transparency and accountability, is fair share as to who get what kind of scholarships, because sometimes these things blow off, they get out of control. And when they get out of control, even though you say you didn't want to get authority involved because you are a non-political entity, But when things go off here, that is the same authority you go to, to call a shot. So we are having better relationship with them. Whenever we intend to implement anything on the ground, we reach out to them. We have them informed that this is what we intend to do. A lot of time they have given us their support. In fact, one of the lands we acquired in Johnson in Belleville Creek, it was let's say everything was being approved by the city mayor. So we are in good relationship, good cordial relationship with the people on the ground. Another corrections that I want to make that I understood from the initial stage of the discussion that somebody is trying to narrow the organization down to a specific county. SAPO Association belongs to 2 major counties in our country. In addition to that, we have some splinters, let's say friends and family who scattered across the country, but mainly our organizations in Liberia has its roots from Grand Gilead and Sino County. It happened that we had about 5 different sessions for Sino of the SAPO trap, but that does not abolish the fact that we also have another session in Grand Gilead that is part of this organization. Matter of fact, the president for SAPO Association for Iowa chapter in America is from Grand Gilead, is a Portuguese. I just want to clarify that.
Mr. Bo, member, you have pricked the interest of the liberal right now. And Mr. So, please give me a little bit a chance here. Let me see how far we can push this board member here tonight. And I know he's capable of handling whatever question comes from. So I just want to find out, not that you have explained to her that this is not just a Sino-based organization, that you have other members. How do you distribute your goodwill in terms of what you do in Liberia? How do you and when do you determine who gets what?
Well, so how do we determine who gets what? The National Convention is the highest decision-making body of organizations. How have we been going about it? Given the limited resources that we have had, it's very challenging. So in the meantime, we are going from chiefdom to chiefdom, from district to district, from county to county. But when you follow the format of the scholarship committee that I previously spoke about, it has the representation of every session on the national team. A skeletal team on the ground that we selected has the representation of every session, so that in terms of implementation, if we said, for instance, that we are going to get 2 students for every session, from Weja, Mopo, Putu, etc., a Putu session must have somebody from Putu standing there to identify the students that come from Putu who intended to enjoy the scholarships. So we have spread our wings across the country. Everybody get in the room, and we make up decisions that is inclusive, that involve everybody. We do not ostracize anyone.
Let me ask this one last question to the president. Madam President, if you can hear me, and this question is, what are some of your I know you guys are talking about having a convention very shortly. Oops. Okay, any one of you can answer
You'll
that.
be on time. The convention done.
Mr. So, the liberal is on the floor. You cannot just push the liberal aside like that. If I'm behind time, I'm not behind time. I'm asking questions. Besides that, and thank you for your help, Mr. So. Now that the convention is over, what are some of the things you guys got out of that convention? Anyone of you?
I can comment.
Thank you.
The president's second one.
Yes,
The president's on.
Madam President, if you got that question, if not, any of you can.
She just entered. I'm not sure she got a question.
You get a question?
Still struggling with device.
Oh my God, the president phone is giving her a hard time.
The Russian on the president.
I think Mr. So will do us a big favor if he just invite the president all by herself within the next few shows or what have you, to make sure the president have the opportunity to actually explain to us what are some of the things she's done, and because it's very important. And for her having some technical issue here, I think LPR and Mr. So owe that to the president. Go ahead. Anyone of you can answer that, please.
Yeah. The question, Mr. Chairman, co-chair, it's okay to comment?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, he says some of the things we achieved from the convention. I think that's the question, if I understood you correctly.
That's correct.
All right. Yeah, there are a couple of things. The organization, since it was established, people got different style of leading. And so the organization was without policy with respect to bereavement, if somebody graduates and those things, So those are some of the things we discussed. So bereavement was taking a lot of money from the organization. Couple were doing it. I mean, it was a whole. Am I audible enough?
Loud.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we discussed the policy of the organization. How should we compensate people and those things when somebody dies, when somebody graduates, and those things. And so that's something we discussed. We achieved from the convention. The General Assembly, they approved that. That was something that the president proposed. Another thing that we discussed at the convention was it has to do with the Constitution. The Constitution has a lot of ambiguities in it. And so the president set out a committee to holistically review the Constitution to make sure that some of the problems in the document are eliminated. So the team went to work and they did a splendid job. And so the job of the Constitution Review Committee, the chairman did a splendid presentation, and that later on the Constitution was put on the floor, and the General Assembly, they approved as well. So those are two major things that we got from the convention. If other people that are following, if you want to supplement that, I would highly appreciate that.
Mr. So, if you don't mind, let me ask one more question, please.
Yeah, I want to ask something that Mr. Topi allow me.
Is this the PRO?
Yeah, one of the things that we
is this the PRO? I'm not too sure if this PRO is the one that going and collecting people's names and turning it over to the president. Is that the PRO we have in Liberia? Is that the one here?
Oh my God! Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead,
yeah, sorry. Yeah, one of the things that we achieved, Mr. To, is that organizations like the people, like back in the day, people will just go in the bank account and withdraw money, and that one of the issues that brought in a little confusion in our union. The president would just wake us and send his financial secretary or whoever to the bank, they withdraw money. So one of the issues.
Oh my God, his phone is so bad.
What's going on?
He's not audible.
Oh boy.
Is he back?
Okay, let me just go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we were able to come up with, only the treasurer will be allowed to withdraw money from the account. Even though we have the president, the financial secretaries, and other board members, they are signatory to the account, but only the treasurer will be allowed to withdraw money from the account. So that one of the things that we achieved from the convention, because during the past time, financial secretary can withdraw money, the president can withdraw money, the treasurer can withdraw money. So we pull up to that. So only the treasurer now will withdraw money from our account.
I see. Mr. So, as I
with the approval of the board.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. So, if my request still is it granted? Should I ask one more question, please?
The president is here now. Can we give her a chance to speak?
Did you say no? The liberal cannot ask question?
You asked your question. I said no.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, Madam President, I don't know what's going on with
the president line. That's so bad.
Device here is not doing well. Any other member who wants
the treasurer? Yeah, Mr. Monday is here. So
I did want to say something. You asked, your question was, what did we get out of the convention, or what were some of the important things about the convention? That was your question, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay. For me, it was a different eye that I had for the convention, because this was a new position for me. the past two conventions, I was more just observing and watching. And what I realized and what I noticed is that this convention brought a different wave of people. It brought people who were standing along the wayside and watching and trying to see what we were going to do and how we have handled what the jobs and the tasks that were given in August of last year. So when we came here, I found that a lot of people were very interested in the growth that we have made, and they also they wanted to keep watching. Some of them wanted to join. For me, what I said that's important for this is because I spent most of my life here, and my father, I grew, I lived in Liberia in America, but what is important to me is the things that my children will know. And so that's why I'm a part of this, because I feel like if this next generation don't get involved, it's going to be a lost group of young people who have connections to Liberia in different counties, but they have no direct impact. And we're educating our children here. We're giving them the best of everything, but then they don't have any direct contact. I also say that there is nothing so great about any of us on this panel right now. There's nothing so great about us. Yet we're given the opportunity to grow up in a place that offers any and everything you can imagine. So it would be a shame on us if we don't give back, to our people. So all those are the reasons that all the reasons I'm here, but also the reasons that I'm seeing a lot of young people also, and just other people, wanting to inquire, wanting to know more about the organization. So since our convention, we've gotten so many calls, we've gotten so many inquiries. A lot of people are asking, a lot of people are telling me, when is the next one? I see the faces, I see the turn, I'm interested, what can I do to help? So that's encouraging.
Just so quickly, if I should add a couple of things too. Yeah. I think, I was just speaking in the context of resolutions, but the president also made a splendid report to the General Assembly, which was quite unusual, like in the past, the prior administration, the General Assembly don't get the perspective as to what the president did and all of that. So the president was able to make a plain and clear report to the people. She actually built a new website and stuff of that nature. With the home-based office, she established an office back home. We also achieved financially, we raised a lot of money. I think the treasurer will speak to that, so approximately in the neighborhood was 60 grand, so that was a huge accomplishment from that too. All right, just to add a couple of things. Yeah.
No, so I just want to emphasize something. I think the treasurer referenced that, but I just want to throw it on a microscope so we all can see it with our common eye. One of the things that I admire mostly at our convention was the fact that we have finally opened a chapter to bridge the gap between the young and the old. Back in the day, this organization was something that mostly of older folks. You go to conventions, they try to reach the young folks, they just spar in the air and they leave. They have no interest. But what we saw in North Dakota proved to us that this organization has a future. Because to have young people standing up the way they did, make me to feel that this organization is not in 20 years organization will come. This organization is the organizations that we can project up to 50, 100 years right now as we sit, because of the age group that we saw. You have people somebody coming from South Africa, leaving its diplomatic functions to attend this convention. Young people leaving their jobs, people that you see yourself, you can see the age difference is like 20, 30 years, over zillions to be part of this thing. And since we left, like the treasurer said, there have been phone call on a daily basis of younger people demonstrating that they are ready. So now the old people now, when they sit back, I think wherever, let's say, Reverend Blatt, or let's say Reverend Stewart, or let's say Man University, I think when they sit down right now, then they look at the overview of that convention, I think they feel that they have accomplished a whole lot when it comes to recruitment.
Okay, before money is when I hear the name money, I'm curious because it's money makes us to survive and break us down. The treasurer will come to that, but let me go to the planner here. What was your own big takeaway? What did you do the subsequent convention you want to do it differently from lesson learned from this convention? I saw the excitement. The president is here again, so I don't know what's on here. So let's.
Can you give her a chance to speak before she go off, please?
All right.
She already gone off.
Oh my gosh, you already gone.
Let me see. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, let's see. Yes, I think one person is here.
She can use the mic.
Please, one Stanley's, so
Yeah, so good.
President, I don't know what's going on with the president divide. Stanley, welcome to the forum, to the conversation. You still want to wait for your president, or you want to?
No, I can speak. I can speak on that. Well, Mr. So, we just want to give God the glory right now as we stand, because the convention was so, it was very nice. The planning was good. I worked on the table with my members, and I just want to give a very big hand clap, give a shout out to the North Dakota chapter. They understand the core. Everybody that went to that convention, there was nothing that was lacking. They all here, they can attest to that. We have food surplus, we had drink surplus, everything, even the venues, it was great. And I think I did a very excellent job with my planning on the ground.
Yeah, you did.
You pressing yourself?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, she deserves it.
I'm not pressing myself, but I deserve it.
Absolutely.
She did a magnificent job. That's true.
I need to ask the other panelists here. Everybody, it seems to be the consensus. Everybody are seeing the treasurer clapping. So, well,
yeah, everything was nice. We felt the spirit of real convention. I've been going to SAPO convention. I've been in the SAPO with the SAPO, United SAPO Association for the past 6 years, I think, both of. But I haven't seen a convention turn out like that. To be honest.
Absolutely.
Who is Amelia, Madam Amelia Tijela? She said what? The best convention ever. Who in disagreement with her?
Nobody is in disagreement with her. She's right. That's the vice president of the Florida chapter.
Oh, she's the vice president of the Florida chapter. Okay.
She's right.
No, we'll try to. Okay. All right. Okay. So, all right. How many persons here? Are we 10? No. Why the president can be added in? Okay. Now the president is out of here. Okay, but every time we try to bring the president.
I swear, man, feeling so sad.
Yeah,
Look,
here we go.
She can use the mic.
The what?
She can use something audio.
Like a phone, she can call in.
Yeah.
Yeah, if she wants to call in, then we can give her the.
Yeah, I think she can.
Maybe the phone number.
The phone.
Oh my God.
I don't know what happened.
Discouraging.
Yeah, maybe we can do that. But like Samson said, I think probably next time, hopefully, we'll do some testing ahead, or maybe board member for those that left to see whether they can get her and kind of get maybe a small official size so that we can do this here. So okay, let's go to Stanley before we go to the treasurer here, because we play where money air, I play a little talk air, because that way can make our organization to grow. Even though there are some people, they don't pay. Trust me, they don't pay. They even go to convention, they will do everything possible. They will not even pay to sneak in. But yet and say people eat their money too. I don't know where kind of money they pay for. So yeah, you don't pay your money. People divide their susu. You don't put hand there. Then you want to go eat. Who money they're gonna give you? Mr. Sewan, am I correct? Stanley?
Yes.
Okay, so let me just bring you in here. What's your role with this organization?
I'm the project director, and also part of the co-chair for the constitutional committee. I'm also part of the auditing committee and then also budget as well. I do a little bit of everything.
Well,
Yeah.
you get opening, so I would be as your assistant. Or we got a budget error. Project, and I be at one where go because money were coming. Okay, on a serious note, there was awesome reasons, different points provided by the members in terms of why this organization was funded. And pretty well at times we lose sight the basis for which we form this organization here. What is the impact of this organization? You being a project person here, what is this organization engaged in? You could lead this drive here. The president is back. It's just horrible to know for whatever reason, but I think next time we will try to find other alternative means to see whether we yeah.
I think I need to have my own special interview.
That's
all
what
by
we
myself.
and that's everybody consensus that what we agree. If the labor put that suggestion, then believe me, we will work. We got to do it. Maybe we found put it, and we definitely got to do that.
That one is a liar to them. Refuse
Mr.
for the
So,
people to
Mr.
get
So, we still need to come and defend our president. You can't come alone in your studio. There's 2 minutes bullets coming on her, so we got to help her. We got to be here with her.
Well, you not trust me. Am I coming to do what I'm going to do? Though?
So we can answer some of the questions.
No, you have etc. The secretary can accompany the president. Yeah, that way. Okay, so yeah, Stanley, let's. But you heard a question I was asking. Maybe the president. I think the president or the director for project wants to speak to it. But going in off, it would be unfair to just throw something at her when she doesn't get the basis of the question. That would be. But I can repeat that. Are you there now, Madam President?
No sound.
Oh Lord.
Are you hearing me? No. But I'm not.
She's not audible.
Wow.
It's
not there, any.
There, bye.
There, bye.
We gotta call the technological team to see what's going on. Yeah.
Okay, let me drop off, and then maybe the president can get on. I don't know what's the problem.
Well,
still okay.
Anything, anything you want to do to protect the man, Ms. Manabu already said they will protect the president. So it look like all of you come with it. Anything you want to.
Yes.
That's okay. All right. So. Okay, while the president carry on, let's talk to the treasurer here. And this is very serious. Her intro, the basis of her argument here seems to kind of draw my attention of what she is doing. Madam Treasurer, they say, I heard, who said, was that a board chair or Esotori? I say big money, huge money, right? So first of all, let me ask you, the past convention, if you raise huge money.
I would say we did well for the size that we were at the convention.
The size. So how many dollars we are talking about here? And before of that, fair to mention too, we are been in this community for quite a long while. People come and other people feel they are on top. Some even executive committee members, planners, they don't want to pay. I'm working hard, I can't pay. They will go in. And bystander, who is an ordinary member, stands right there, listening to, a secretary that just for the conversation purposes. He's not paying, so why I should pay? These are all potential problems. And people just make a conclusion because they saw the size and number of people there. They say, oh, this is the amount of people that entered. But they are not even thinking if everyone that went in there pay a cent and dollar. So before getting to that amount here, what do you do? What are steps taken in collaboration with the administration in making sure that if I'm a member of the United SAPO Association, it's not just because I'm a SAPO person, I'm a member, but I must contribute because we all came to a consensus agreement that, okay, convention, if it's $50, if it's $100, it's a $25, it is a bounding, it is agreement that we all come to, whether I voted for or against. But as long as I'm going in there, I must be able to make that sacrifice to pay that amount. Yeah, there are some other people who always break that law. So you post those who are the gate or those who are in charge of the finances, it puts you in a very tight, ugly position because at the end of the day, she eat our money. She eat our money. They eat our money. Then the president, then everybody, both not talking. So what do you do? What are some of the conversations that are held prior to conventions with respect to effectively manage gate intake finances that are coming in order for you to make a comprehensive report?
That's actually a great question. You know, the beauty of coming in with fresh eyes is you get an opportunity to see how things are operating, and then you have the chance to suggest on other ways of making things happen. So from watching the previous year convention, a group of us, you know, we constantly are in communication with each other. We're always talking. And so the decision was that this year we would do IDs. And so we brought it to the board. The board agreed. And so the executive team carry out this task. So we started collecting the convention funds, I want to say about 2 or so months before the convention. And when you would pay, you send your picture and we will create the IDs. Then, so that was the beginning of it. So, wow, people walking in, they're getting IDs. But what that did was it kind of had a separation because it had this setting of, oh, wait a minute, why am I not having my ID? Who wants to be walking around without an ID? I don't care if I'm in the kitchen working, whatever, everyone should have an ID. So all of a sudden now it was major. We had our ID printing machine there. And as you come in,
we had a printing machine there.
Absolutely. We had our own ID printing machine there. So for those that were not able to
nobody going to give excuse or anything.
Exactly. So those who are not able to prepay, we were ready for them. So as you came in, the first question was, did you pre-register? Yay or nay? If it was yes, then you would already have an ID and it was already printed. If you didn't, that means you did not have an ID. And right there, you paid your money and your the ID was produced within minutes. So that was a system. So because of that, everyone coming in our doors, and if you were a guest, you paid the guest fee there. But about midway through the process, most of our guests started to change their minds and wanting to become members. So of course they wanted to ID, right? As well. So, you know, and people were asking, nonstop. So that was a beginning phase of development that the president and every of the board members and executive, we all put together for that. The goal now is that we would even start this earlier and people would start so that way they're coming in and everybody already have their ID. So we don't even have to worry about printing it on site, but we'll always be ready for that. So that was key. That really helped us, and that helped our leadership team, our membership team. That helped everyone for us to get a really good idea of who's coming to our convention, who's paying, and all those things. So that was good.
Wow. So how much was raised?
Huh?
How much was raised?
So we raised.
You are at liberty. If it has not been public to the membership.
Oh no, it was. It was. We said it already that night. We were about 62 then, but since then it's been increasing. So we are in the process of creating our financial report, which we will have for the body as well as the the entire team, because I think what happens is when people saw what was produced with the previous money, and when people saw how detailed the information was, right, it had a trusting feeling of, okay, I'm okay with putting my money here. And once that happened, it just sparked this amazing fire that people just started donating, people started giving, people started joining. And then even after that, people that made pledges were saying, you know what, I want to increase my pledge. So it's just been overwhelming support.
I'm saying,
Mr.
Let me, you were coming here, but we've been doing this for quite a while. I have not had any local or big organization, financial person, to be so much explicit, to have some sort of standard way of doing things, because believe me or not, the reasons all of these Liberian people would love to give, but who wants to put their
exactly
in a fountain net? Fountain net doesn't hold water.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to invest into an emptied vessel or drum.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing now, and if that seems to be the case, and which looks like it is the case, because I watched the images since coming from that area, it was quite amazing. let's have some of it. Let's display that because the secretariat he did an extraordinary job. In fact, he is. I don't. Was that a buka dance you were doing, my man? I saw your. I saw. I saw your children were going on. Let's play that little bit here. Let's poke fun into this, and then we're gonna bring the liberal going to come in.
She must show you what she has. And no, that's she get look. She get to the seat. Well, no, just don't walk into it. You see the queen? Don't joke. She doesn't joke. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the queen is falling. See that now? Fine on it. And that is Queen Diana Carla Williams of the United Sapo Association, the national queen. And last night she declared that she is going for second term. And so next year in Minnesota, she has already declared that she's going to pay for the hall. You know, so she's not joking. She's coming back. Wait for national violence. That's Queen Diana.
Coming back with financial violence. I love that.
Mr. So,
am I audible?
Yes, you are, Mr. So. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Let me. It's good to put fun into this from time to time, but let me take this thing to another level here on the with respect to seriousness, Mr. Boche. And the reason why I'm coming to you, I think you have a group of energetic young people, and those of us that are from the countryside and are much little bit older. I'm only 25 years old, but I'm old. We watched when we were growing up, where we saw the young, as young men or young boys, we saw the old folks, for example, in a community, somebody get hurt, and that person is unable to finish their farming process. The community themselves will get around and say, we want to go and help this person finish that. I'm sure it's not quite different from you guys, the SAPO side either. Now, in that process, you got what they call the bush father. I don't know the name, English name. I'm from Total. I don't know book. I call it bush father, and anybody don't know that, I'm sorry. But in the process, you also have somebody who sings. All his job is to go on the other side of the bush where the people have not finished, not even reached yet, brushing, and he will start sinking in whoever he wants that person to do more work. He'll start calling the person name, call your mom name, call your pa name, your grandfather, then he ask you a question. He's thinking now, are you sure you belong to this family? And that person can just do about anything at that moment. Now, and I see you and the rest of the people that are behind this organization are open up to these young people to do the best, to make sure this organization not just survive, but thrive, which I really, really do appreciate. But on the serious question I have for you, speaking from experience, sir, is there any guardrails that you guys have put in place? Because these young people will not be in power forever. Once they are successful making this organization to what it is now, it becomes envious of the town. And you will have people who has no ability to lead, who has nothing whatsoever. You heard this young lady explaining here. I mean, and I'm not even a member of the association. I'm wondering right now, how far is this association? Can I just visit? Because just from listening to her, my interest in this organization has gone way over the roof, to be honest with you. But the issue now is the question I'm asking you, sir, is there any guardrail to protect against people who are also might be member of this association or even from the AC area, but perhaps they have no leadership abilities, and they will come in because the association is already at the top. Is there any structures in place that any fool like me can come here and become a president and still this organization will survive? Do you guys have that kind of system in place already?
Before you respond to that, that's a very good question. If the Liberal can come up with that, it means it's serious. And let me, if I to add to A, I listen to her, right? And I say, yeah, I don't sell address anything. But our people always, what he's basically saying, or what we are saying here, okay, she's there now as a treasurer, setting all sort of this sort of standard principle, following all of the basic rules to make sure monies are maintained and all of that. All of the executive they are doing. But people get a tendency when people fight, put a structure in place, another group of people come for whatever reason, it is destroyed within a minute.
Okay.
And then at the end of the day, the whole organization is derailed, go down the hill and waste everybody's time. I know, Mr. The liberal question here is whether there's a long-term goal to set a standard. Yes, if you leave, if I come there, I'm not just coming there because if it doesn't spoil, don't fix it. People tend to fix things that is not spoiled and they cause more problem. And then you can find mechanic to do the repair. So that's the basis of the question. Adhere to the administration, the board of directors, the leadership to say, hey, we need to have this as a standard rule. Don't come here and just can bring a thing that is in your head already. You just come in to impose it when there's no need that anything should be treated around. Is that how you guys going to do it?
Yeah, absolutely. Before I address that question, I think the treasurer talking about something else. I didn't really want to temper with that answer because I want to keep it as an indoor strategy, but the cat is already out. And that is with respect to, let's say, safety fee at the convention. Frankly speaking, she just told you that 2 months before the conventions, we have hired some money. People are already paid their safety fee. What another strength, another, let's say, thing that strategy brought to us, another help it gave us was that people who did not even attend the convention, they already paid. So for instance, 5 months ago, you pay your $100. The convention happened in 5 months' time. And during the time of the convention, maybe you have some problem, you have to cater to your kids, you don't have the time to attend the conventions, you have already paid your convention fees. So now the convention fee is now out of the hall. It has come to the community. It's now the commitment of those who are not even in attendance. They all are paying convention fee now because of the structure that was put into place. To protect the organization, to protect our finances, to protect, we just had that the secretary just made reference to when you talked about the resolution, was that you as a treasurer or you as an administration serving in any capacity, in the future, you will have or let's say, compiled a document, affidavit, or let's say, of support, where you will come with some documents, you will notarize the document. For instance, you say, I'm the soul, I'm president for United SAPO Association. I take oath to protect the image of the organization in the event that there is any violations on my part where I have taken money from the organization account. With all being authorized, the laws should have been responsible. You would make that written communication. You will go to the notary place. You will notarize it. You will bring that copy. It will be with the National Board of Directors. Whenever anything happens that is in violations of with respect to your functions, we will use that notary copy against you. Because those are your own words. That's one of the things we have put into place.
Yeah. And can I also say something?
Sure.
So we're attacking it in two ways. You know, that what our board chair, our assistant chair had mentioned is one. And then also we're, the heart of someone, they come with a pure, loving, kind, willing heart to help. So what we're also doing is we are, because what you said is so true. If you're not careful, you can lose sight of your organization by new people doing whatever. So the goal here is too that as we're going through these phases and creating these great policies and procedure, is to partner with younger people and partner with people so that they're also a part of this plan. So we're talking about that now. How do we bring them on board now? So that way they're learning the process and they're understanding and they have the organization at heart at an early age, so that when their time comes, they will be able to continue on the process, the things that we're doing, and things don't fall aside. But so we're working on two ends. We're putting the the legal things in place that people will not do that to the organization. But at the same time, we're trying to make sure that we're taking the heart of people and also making sure that they're here because they want to be here and they're part of the process because they have the passion. So we're pulling them in younger. We're involving them not just to come in and leave, but actually putting them into the thick of things and encouraging them to be a part. So that's what they're doing. That's what's happening also.
Let me make some clarification here with respect to my remark. The liberal remark turned to the conservative. He took it and tried to wrap it around his conservative ideas and tried to. So I want to separate my liberal remark from that of his conservative idea and trying to throw it out there, pretending to be that of the liberal. My question was clear. As a liberal, there is nothing two-way street about it. So if you hear Mr. So rapping in a conservative rapper and think that's what it is, I just want my audience to understand the liberal question is quite different from that of Mr. So. But I really appreciate the assisting chair and this young lady answering my question. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
So we should get a trophy for that.
If I can comment on what the deputy board chair stated. Some of the safeguard. This is Stanley. I was part of the constitutional committee. There are some things we put in place when we came out of Florida, and that is to kind of change the face of the organization to make sure that it's not like business as usual. So one of the things we emphasized was that accountability, and people should invest in the institution or the organization. And then if you have to invest in it, depending on what you put in, it will determine how you value the organization.
So when you say, hold on there. When you say invest, what are we investing?
Normally people, we go for a convention, usually like pay your sitting fees, and we have a party, we dance, and then everybody come home and that's it. So we try to see that people should have some kind of ownership of the organization. So what we did was buy into it, and we sent a survey out while we're working on the Constitution, so everybody can have an input. What do you think? What are some of the issues? And people responded. And then over time, we went back to the membership and say, okay, this is the feedback we got from for you guys. This is the direction we are going. What you guys think? So the interaction made people feel that they were part of the process.
Exactly.
They were not being left out. And that was very effective. I mean, I've been part of a lot of librarian or civil organization, but this process was really unique in the sense that people were excited. When we worked on the Constitution, we went back first to the executive, try to sell the idea, some of the changes we make. But we wanted to make sure that no one person or individual hijacked the process. Because we have a history where people felt they had too much power, they were making some decisions. So we're putting some mechanism in place that there'll be the check and balance system will be effective, that everybody eyes will be on everybody, even within the executive, even the board. Some of those things that were require clarity, we went ahead and provide clarity, answer, because majority of our people in our organization don't understand the Constitution. They undercode the Constitution if there's crisis, and they undercode the aspect that they feel is convenience or what they want to accomplish. So we try to kind of address that. And I think we did an effective job in that. Another thing we did was to make sure that the banking system, our financial, the transaction, before we have full person, everybody have access to the bank account. So we changed that in the sense that we know that one person is allowed to go to the bank and withdraw money. But even we have a virtual system that process had to also take its course. So not because Agnes is the one that is interested in going to the bank, but before that transaction can be sanctioned, the process from the executive to the board, and we said that got to be followed by a paper trail. So Agnes cannot take money from the account without that signature, not just
Wow.
because the board, the president know the board president. I mean, the executive president know the board chairman. Is just do a phone call, say I need $500. Is all you can go and take it. No, there had to be a paper trail.
Yes,
And that paper trail, then the auditing committee have access to that, so that everybody can check to see
Wow.
what
It's
is going on.
almost like running like a federal government, federal system.
Yeah,
I
but
love that.
it is.
Hold on. I read it. You were talking.
This is
Hold
very
on.
flighty. Mr. So, please.
Hold on. I am running this show here.
I know you run this show, but let me
something to. Please. I am in charge. You disabuse me, and I'm about to come back to you here because you're one of those that also facilitate wrongdoing here. Gentlemen, let me ask the executive, Mr. Jawi. I'm a guy who strongly believes all, including myself, we should all be held accountable. This guy, there's something told guy from Totan. I hope my brother listening to mechanism. At the end of the day, my candidate can come to undo it to get things. I'm a guy who believes that people must be held accountable. People will say, okay, this is a family organization. See the effort, the structure being laid out by these people, the leadership, with the consent of the members. And then all of a sudden, one person just comes some kind of way and just take any kind of money illegally. Everybody's money. He or she tends to be the smart person, take the money. And then at the end of the day, another group of people can say, you know, we are the same people that family organization, and they allow it to go. I am not a fan of that. I'm not a sympath. I do not associate with those kind of behavior. People must be held accountable and they must pay the consequences. Let me ask you, because this guy here, he's one of those that are with family. Let me ask this organization, with all of these policies you put in place, if any of members just come out of the sudden and decide to do some kind of crazy stuff like that, would that be waived as a family group and allowed to go and everybody will leave it with God? God time is the best. With family, we don't want Mayflower. Is that in this association? Executorate, the board chair,
Yeah, I don't want to be held in contempt. So when the honorable gives me the authority, I can go ahead. Mr. Jawi.
Mr. Jawi is frozen.
Yes. Yeah, Mr. Tor. Let's say Mr. So.
This guy, I can't. There's no way I can beat this.
Mr. So, yeah, my bad. I apologize for that. Yeah, but yeah, the court, what you are referring to, at least in the era of dark side for the esoteric, that will not happen. Maybe if I pass away, and that will happen. Yes, I am the secretary for the organization, but I run my platform and that was, I watch you as well. I learn.
Yeah, somebody speaking. Yeah, go carry on.
Yeah, so Mr. Jawi is talking at the same time. Yeah.
Oh, Jawi, he was talking.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
The president's back.
She got another phone.
She's not back yet. The president is not back yet. She's still, the internet is not still steady yet.
The technical cheerleader came and fixed my phone. You know, I got also technology people.
Wow. we need a server disciplinary no, because like first thing she should have done, first of all,
she should have done that. She should have been at my house. She's going to be punished.
We apologize, Mr. So. We apologize.
We apologize. Actually, we were selling another interview, but I just wanted to at least say something here tonight before you go, Mr. So.
Yes.
So, thank you for waiting. You're about to leave, right?
No. We still got a few minutes. So go ahead.
Okay. All right, but I'm here. So go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Now the president is on. You were seeking a consent from the board, more or less the administrative part, but you guys can push it. What I was asking, things that I'm hearing tonight here sounds very good. Good policies. There seems structure-wise, the association, the organization, no question about that. But I was asking the tendency of people taking money. I'm not going to salad dress it, stealing group of people money that work hard, that pays their due, go for convention. And all of a sudden, it could be an official, it could be any executive. They take it and then they finish your call. You know what? We all the same people. We all the same SAPO people. I'm from Kabade, you from Penoken, and that. So they let this person go. I'm asking, can you guys condone those sort of behavior?
Thank you, Mr. So, for asking that question. Yeah, Maisha, tonight we really want to focus on the success of our convention and what can we do, things that we did that brought more people to this convention. But the reason that you saw more people also to this convention is because we took a step, right? That sweeping things under the carpet most of the time, or SAPO make say, I know your well, we are the same people.
Ataliali.
Ataliali.
Ataliali, and then you.
Maleti can say, Ataliali, listen, all right? That Ataliali, that Ataliali thing, that's what got most organizations today in the diaspora, and people get away with murder, okay? Especially so when a group of people come together and you know, in our community, let me speak for my SAPO community. If you saw the convention they go on time, you see a lot of older folks. Some of those women, they don't have a job. Some of them, they are being cared for by their children. Some of them got a little social security
check.
welfare check that come to them. And because of convention, they will save money. When we say $100 across the board, they pay $100 across the board. We don't have discount for senior citizens, right? So everybody pay their equal share. And these old people will take their money, buy plane tickets, especially for this convention this year. I'm sorry that I was not here from the beginning to really address the circumstances that people went through just to attend convention, especially for this convention this year that we went all the way to North Dakota. There were cancellations of plane. People like most of our people even slept at the airport to Chicago when they're on their way. That's how much they love this organization. They bought their ticket, their flights were delayed, it took them to the airport. They slept at Chicago airport until the next day before they got on a flight to Minnesota. I'm just trying to lay the foundation of the sacrifices that people made to raise this money, only because we want to help our people back home. And a few group of people will sit down and misuse the money. And then when there are questions asked, and all they can give you is insult, right? Do anything that you want to do, and they feel that they hold you no explanation, and they hold the people no explanation. So for that, we have to set a precedence in our community that it is unacceptable for an individual or group of individuals to go and take the people money without any consequences. So we took our people to court. They were outcry that why we have to do that. But we have to set that precedent so people can know that you can't just eat organization money and go free with no consequences. So as the result, people will not trust the organization to even pay money within the organization. So the reason that you saw this convention also was parked, but because of the steps that we took. Number one, we retain our name, the USAA, that was established since 1990. I, Francis Clark, cannot just come right now and just hijack the whole organization that was established when I was not even around. And then I want to defy even the people that follow the organization, and then I own the organization, right? So we have to put stop to those things. So honor our administration is zero tolerance, right?
Wow.
You saw my financial, my treasurer just told you, I bet in every organization I was full-fledged member of GGAA. I went to every convention on Timothy and Fairground. I went to every convention when Cousin Major took over, right? I have never seen a financial report that was detailed for 12 months from August
To August.
absolutely nobody to ask questions because every cent that was spent was back off with a bank statement and the board approved it.
Absolutely.
We're going to find a time, hopefully, to have the president here, so we'll go in depth of the organization here. But I want you to speak to one thing before we close up, and then I can. But okay, let me just do it that way. Let me go to the other members to do their last final rounds, and then I will ask the president this question here. We're hearing that there's another convention ongoing by another brothers, sisters, or another group of, from the SAPO community. I will be asking the president what this administration is doing to mend those fences, to mend those breaches, to come back to baseline. Whether that's the end of it now, it's important that we talk all of that. But before that, let me just go around to have your last final saying, and definitely I will be in touch with the president where maybe we'll bring in depth. She can come with one or two executives to have that sort of a in-depth conversation. So, Manabu, let me come to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's 1 minute here. Let's hear your closing statement.
Well, thank you, Mr. So we appreciate you allowing us to use your platform and inform our people what we are doing here in the Americas. And on behalf of everybody in the forum tonight, we say thank you, and thank you, and thank you.
Okay, all right, nice and short. Madam Treasurer, are you there? Her phone, her line is frozen. Okay, I think the line is frozen. So let's wait and see. Let's go to Stanley.
Yes. Again, thank you for the time, for allowing us to use your platform. One of the things that I will want to say to the audience is that we are trying to change the way the organization in the diaspora do business. So, United SAPO Association want to set a higher standard. So we started this journey. We put a lot of things in place, and those things are in progress, and we are seeing result. So what we did was we set our office in Liberia, and we're going to be working on setting our office here. We have a website that we set up, built very interactive. We're trying to reach out to the people, and as the president in her annual message in Florida, the 3 pillars, we try to address those issues. So even the projects that we are working on, they're going to address those issues and to make sure that we bring relief to our people. But we don't want to focus just on in Africa, in Liberia, but also here too. We found out we are working on issue where we'll try to help our senior citizens among us to be able to address some basic issues that they are facing, help them out. That we're trying to get the resource center here in the state and also back home. So there are a lot of things that we are working on, and we started the scholarship program, very effective program that we about to start. The president went to Liberia the last time, and then open the office. So the Morovia office is going to run the scholarship, but it's going to be in collaboration with us. Saying that we are targeting 20% so far for scholarship to go into certain discipline that will benefit our people. Because we found out that back when there are shortage of nurses and teachers and those disciplines. So that's one of the things that we are working on. The next thing, we also want to use the Liberian office to also solicit funding in Liberia, while at the same time we're doing the same thing here. So it's that we are trying to just function not just in the state but also back in Africa. We have our dynamic of advisor for West Africa. So he oversees the Monrovia office, and then one of the things too that we are also working
In
on
30
too
seconds.
is to make sure that we have a system that will coordinate all these various arms, the various auxiliary that we have to make sure that there's a coordination. Everybody is in their place so that we not have what we experience, the occurrence of what we experience. So these are the things that we've been doing behind the scene and we'll continue to do. And for the first time, we're able to drive a balanced budget. And one of the things I was saying to the president, it's one thing to come and say, I want to do this and stuff, but where's the funding going to come from? So one of the things when we work on the budget for the president to kind of make sure it's balanced, we try to raise funds. Normally, Liberian organization will say, well, we have money in the treasury, let's go get it out. I said, no, let us try to kind of come up with other funding sources to kind of support the president budget. Even the president is very ambitious, but also we can come up with the money so that one of the things we work on, we're able to balance the budget. And then the General Assembly, everybody going to have access to the budget, the board, and everything. And I know they're going to be excited about that.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's go to our calling the treasurer. I captured our because the financial business here is not just on the local, national level. People mismanage people funding. It's creating problem in our society, not just on the community.
Treasurer, I captured.
So,
okay,
let me go back there. Madam Treasurer, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Before we leave, before we let you go, you are the chief financial officer, and basically anything go wrong, you will be the first person here. But give us a sense here, give us a closing remark as to, and that not just only to your people, but this could be like a sort of a tutoring process for other organizations, because you ask to do a job, sometimes you got to say no. President, not because someone is a president, just call you, say do this, and you do it when you know it is wrong. When you know it is unacceptable, when you know the law doesn't provide that provision to do it, he decided to do it. Tell us here, is this on a short-term basis, or will they go on as long as the treasurer of these organizations, the finances of this organization, will it be properly managed as mandated, and it should be as treasurer of this group?
Hi, thank you. And first, before I say that, I just want to thank you guys for allowing us this opportunity to come on your platform. We appreciate it. I am who I am. It's a funny thing I say that because you either like me or you don't, and I'm okay with that. I'm a person that I'm not too much into what people say, because I know that I'm here because of God's grace and mercy. So I say that to say that only God holds me accountable. And so what I do for him. So I'm not doing this for a short period of time or changing. This is who I am. This is how I operate. And I believe that when you hold people money, and the reason I'm here is mostly because of my father, who was one of the elders, and I know that how hard they work for every penny that they have. So when I think about that, I hold myself personally accountable to make sure that what goes in has to be accounted for, and what comes out needs to be approved. So that has nothing to do with a short time frame. That's just my, it's integrity. It's your personality. It's who you are. So as long as I'm the treasurer, which is for this term, I will make sure that I follow the duties that were assigned to me. And I do not mix business with pleasure. I operate according to the principles as things are. So that I can always assure people will happen.
Wow. That's interesting. Okay. So the chief planner of the...
I'm sorry to say I do have to leave. I'm actually traveling tomorrow. So is it okay for me to leave?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Okay. So we are wrapping up.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, Madam Planner, what's your final statement? Subsequent conventions coming. So what are you going to do differently than what happens in Fargo, North Dakota? What are your closing statement?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you guys for having us on your platform. But I am asking all supporters, if they are listening to my voice, they should please come on board so that we can work together in the interest of our people. What I'm going to do different in this coming convention, it's a secret. I don't want to let it out, but I will just throw a little bit of light on it.
Okay.
Yeah, God, I like to surprise people. So what's going to happen? We are going where I was seeing format, right? But the setting capacity will be kind of different this time around. Yeah, and because it's in Minnesota, it's gonna be a bigger city, so we have to put more work. And I trust my SAPO people, the girls and boys can really work. Just how they looking, outside, like how they looking inside. They are really hard working. So I know that we do great. They coming convention to come.
All right.
So I'm asking all SAPO people from SAPO land to please make it their business to get on board. Let's work.
All righty.
Making them.
We're here. We shall see. Hopefully, to pray for long life will be the info. Something already trying to seek membership. Okay. Exeter, and then the board chair, and then we can come to the president for a closing remark.
Mr. So, in my Japanese voice, arigato for bringing us on your platform. It was a very interesting discussion, giving us the opportunity to put the message out to our people. In closing, I want to say, Mr. To, we want to take this organization to another level. And I think one of the reasons why people feel entitled to the organization is because when they pay $1 or $100 or $200, when little commotion comes, people want to say, "Oh, I put my money in there." So some of the ideas we are brainstorming now, because this is an organization with 501c3, and so what that means is we can go out there to leverage fundings from philanthropists and stuff of that nature. So we are thinking about writing grants on those things, and those are the ideas we are brainstorming now. So next time we'll come on the platform, we'll be talking about $62,000. You'll be talking about $1 million. You know, so we are thinking big right now. Another thing that the president is doing, which I like, is that before then the organization was centralized. You know, I think the organization is growing. The various leaders in the various chapters, they are bubbling with ideas. So I think it's also okay to devolve a responsibility to them, which the president is doing. And that's something we are working on. We spoke of the issue of corruption. And in our community, some people consider me to be the rabble rouser and the stubborn guy, the troublemaker, different names they call me. And I think I'm passionate about this one because I think corruption is one of the enemies of our society. Even Liberia as a whole is seriously strangulating the country. You know, so that's why the corruption that came within the United SAPO Association. I didn't joke, and I continue with that. If I'm caught in and out of corruption, I want to be held responsible as well, because it's not. I think it's not right for a group of people to generate our resources, and few people will just go and do anything they feel, and they go with impunity. That culture in the USAA will come to an end. Lastly, Mr. So, I want to use your platform. I want to urge the viewers, the people that are following, make sure and follow Voice of Sino in the diaspora with Esoteric. If you want to know anything about Sino County, the politics, the development, and everything that's going on, Voice of Sino is the platform to be. I also want to urge you to subscribe to our YouTube page. On YouTube is Madison Freeman, and you'll get the latest videos, some of the videos that you don't get on Facebook, you'll get them on YouTube. That being said, I want to say thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you. This person been tweeting a lot here before the board co-chair comes in. He said he's one of you, but I believe he's in Liberia. So hopefully maybe somebody can get his number. He's been finding his people. He claims he's a SAPO guy, and he's been trying to find his people. So you never know. So many intervention comes in. So the number there is 077 9251048, then 008 0877 236 Lincoln Madison. That's saying, I think he's been tweeting here. He wants to join. He tried to find his route. He tried to find his people. There are so many interventions can take place. I will keep it there, and hopefully somebody can record that number, and then maybe the team in Liberia or here can definitely reach out. Mr. Boyd,
yeah, thank you very much, Mr. So, since this is the first appearance after the convention, I just want to use your platform to say thank you, a big thank you to everybody that put aside their busy schedule, cross rivers, spend extra dollars to just meet the last convention. I mean, it was absolutely unbelievable. We saw young, old people. We have finally formed the path for the future of this organization because, like I stated earlier, whenever you have the young folks like that, you have the guarantee that the organization has a future. So that's what we want to build on. The interview was a very great one because it focused on the future of the organizations. You have assessed what we went through in the past as an organization, and based that you ask questions with respect to precautions that are put into place by the conventions. We did put it out there. We pray that we work so hard to make sure that the policies that are drafted, including our resolutions, are put into place, are made effective in order to safeguard the organization. Another thing I want to say on the show is not all SAPO people are part of United SAPO associations. We are trying to reach out. Matter of fact, I have some cousins that are not part of SAPO associations. We are trying our best to reach out. And so I want to make it explicit that Ms. Clark Myers is a president of United SAPO Association. She's not a president of people who are not associating with SAPO Association. Therefore, when this conflict happened, we have had the proper redress from the authority of this country. And all parties in the conflict, I assumed, were satisfied. We found a way for forward march. Therefore, I want to recommend that we stayed away from what somebody is doing aside, which has nothing to do with the function of United SAPO Association. Everybody has the right to do what they do, in as much as we have a right to do what we do. What is peculiar to us is that anything that is regarding United SAPO Association, and I think that's where this conversation should be about. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's come to the president before we leave, but I promise we're going to make time in an exclusive, so we will really go in depth. I don't know what's going on today, but that's okay. At least it's a beginning, it's a start. So, Madam President.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, before you close up, the fight remain here, there is, I don't know, should I say split or disagreement or something going on that is not right, because I'm hearing another group of your people are having convention somewhere in Des Moines, Iowa, so something is not right. So off from here, I know we're going to find time to have this conversation. Is there still a room to have a conversation to get everybody to baseline, to back home? Are you still working towards that, or everybody on their own? Are you hearing me? Oh boy.
Okay.
Somebody is talking. I don't know who's there. This is just not right. This is just not good.
I know.
Yeah. By the time the president about to make up. Are you
Hello?
there?
You
Yeah.
can hear me?
Yeah, you heard my question?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You, somebody was calling. Okay. Yeah, I think you said another convention will go on this weekend. That was your question, right?
Right. And I'm asking whether there's still a room to get things done, or it's just over now. Everybody on their own.
The mute. There you go.
Okay, you can hear me, Mr. So?
Yeah, loud and clear.
All right. I think when I heard your question, you said another convention going on this weekend. Is that what you said?
Yeah, and I'm asking whether you guys is still an open corridor to have a conversation for everybody to come together somehow, some way, or the door is closed.
Oh, I mean, like the co-chair just said, USAA, United SAPO Association in America, is for all SAPO people. Any SAPO person that is waiting to join, you are welcome to come on board. So there's no way that we can close the door. The door will never be closed. It will be open to even non-Saponians. We got all our associate members that are non-Saponians that are part of us. So there is no way we are recruiting, we are normalizing. So there is no way we can close the door. However, everyone has the right to assemble. Everyone has the right to establish their own thing that they want to establish. The fact remains that USAA is only one USAA in America. There is no two. So when people say we split, no, we are not split. We got only, when you say split, it means that I can remember when we first had a 7-year crisis, there were two USAA at the time. The other group were calling themselves USAA, the other group were calling it USAA. So it was a need that we came together to have one USAA. But this time around, we are not split. In every organization, after elections, other people have this agreement and they decide to, form their own little group. And if they did that, it doesn't mean that we split, right? Because we only got one USAA. So anytime our brothers and sisters that dissatisfied with whatever went on, when they're ready to come back, our doors are open, wide open, to receive every SAPO person within the diaspora. So yes, so we will do everything in our power as administrator to do whatever we can do to bring people that want to come back, that want to be part of USAA. They are welcome to come back at any time. Their convention, their time alone will tell you that USAA is more stronger than before, and we are moving forward. So uh, anyone, like I said, I want to come by, they are welcome to come by. But we cannot stop people. This is a free country. This is America. Everyone has the right to assemble. So that's where we are. So I don't want to hold you up for a long time because we're about to go. I just wanted to at least be part of the conversation. I know we're going to have my own day where it's going to be just Francis Clark. And Maya Madbuki can't redeem me because you always particularly gonna protect me. I come and protect us,
Yeah, Mr. So, yeah, that. So don't leave me behind. You will send
Okay,
that link.
who am I?
Send that link.
Okay,
So,
definitely.
but this time around, maybe it will just be my ladies. In USAA, we got so sexy. We got the sexy president, the sexy cheerleader, the sexy
That's good.
queen, the sexy treasurer, the sexy youth coordinator, the sexy every lady in the organization is sexy. So
No
sometimes
You're
you
not,
problem.
want
you're not
to
morning. You're not morning people again. You're sexy
we are
now.
morning and sexy women, Molly cheerleader and sexy cheerleader. So,
All
we will
right.
come back. But thank you, Mr. So, for having us. The morning cheerleader, the morning cheerleader, the morning president, and the sexy, all of them morning and sexy anyway. But we will come back on a serious note. We want to take this time to really appreciate you. That we are looking forward for more interviews, and we are calling on all SAPO people to come on board It's not about Francis Clark. It's not about anybody else. It's about our community. You know, if people want to come, if they don't want to come, also, if you carry development in the Sapo land is developed. Sano County is developed. Liberia is developed. So, you know, that's how we see it. So thank you for having us.
Okay, thank you so much, guys, and I hope to have you here again. Thank you so much. All right, so let's see here. The Liberal.
Yes, Mr.
Okay,
So.
I think we've been here for a long now. I think it was interesting, but definitely we'll try to make way to have the president here so we can get a little in depth. You know, so we don't want to bury anything. To just give her the opportunity to explain that. I want to say thank you so much for your time this evening.
Thank you, Mr. So I truly enjoy it. It was a wonderful show, especially to have our own brothers and sisters from the SAPO region to continue to do what they're doing for the sake of development back home. If that area is developed, Liberia is developed. So I really take my hat off to them for putting such a wonderful program together. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. And folks, that's how we're going to end it for the rest of this evening. Bye-bye.
I just want to thank you.